Welcome back. We have another night of Borderlands D&D, and we are picking up at a very fun moment today. But before that, last session, the group had gotten back together and started off, and started the trek farther all the way to the more northern reaches of the area, trying to follow the very large and sizable bullymong that barreled through a town, kidnapped their guide, and ran off into the night ever so rudely. Along the way, they had a bit of a mishap with the ice that was on the way, with the shifting ice shelves, and the technical and trailer got split, broken, and slid down into different areas. Clayton said he was going to stay behind to try and repair it while he sent all of you ahead. Well, he didn't send you all ahead. Everybody else decided to go ahead forward to try and find your guide and perhaps rescue him from a demented fate. However, you guys all arrived and found a very uncomfortable amount of bullymongs shuffling around a circular area around this hive. Deciding what course of action, everybody decided to stealth in, rushed across the open space, thankfully not getting spotted, and before into the tunnels of this giant frozen mountain. It's exaggeration, it's not a mountain. But everybody rushed in, started walking the tunnels, climbing ever higher and higher before coming out among a huge cavernous pit with multiple ice bridges stretching between them. While there and trying to continue to sneak a little quietly, unfortunately Nessa had some poor luck and slid on the ice and hit really hard and started to drop some icy chunks, little flecks of it, and get attention of another bullymong. In an attempt to stop them from signaling everybody else around them, the bullymong was netted and drained of a little bit of health. Unfortunately, it did not succeed in taking him out, and they let out a loud bellow. At the same time, across the way, Bertram had headed back to the local town, had checked in, tried to get a little bit of information and where to head out to after that, since they seemed to have been heading in the wrong way before. Getting a little bit of help from the local citizens, and your handler setting loose a very fun little beastie to track individuals. Everybody set off, listening to a very awkward book. Bertram thinks it's awkward. Everybody else is just done for it, of course. And the realization that maybe, just maybe, you're not tracking Shmi. But while that happens and you guys are following that fun individual trail, with your very lovely romance story in the background.
It's monkey fucking. What the fuck are you talking about?
Which I was going to say, side note, is illegal on some planets. We pop back to the fun individuals who just set off a bullymong hive. Set the scene again. A little bit more detail. You guys are all currently on this ice bridge, not super wide, maybe between 5 and 10 feet. A little slick, but thankfully just enough bit of grip. You guys can walk semi-normally for the most part, if you're a little careful. It's not super bright in here, however, there's just enough clear ice, and it is midday, so enough refracting light to give it a good dim lighting throughout of it all. You had just failed to kill the bullymong in time before he let out a large echoing roar, which echoed back from other areas of similar roars, and a very large one came from the bottom of this pit that you're looking down and you can't quite see to the bottom of. That is very familiar to everyone who was in town that night. So yeah, you got a netted bullymong probably about 15 feet below you. What would you guys like to do as you're on this icy bridge of crisscrossing patterns and bits?
Finger gun it again.
Finger gun it again, it is.
Silence the bullymong unless someone else has anything else.
I've got nothing, guys.
That sounds like a distinct hesitation. I say fire your shot.
Alright.
I put it in the net. I don't have anything else to do.
That does mean you have advantage on the hit.
Yep, okay, still restrained there. Let's see. 18?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, my pyramids, my double-sided pyramids come to me. Those are good numbers. 14.
14 damage. Hurt it quite a bit.
I had like 20 something last time, I think.
Yeah, it's fairly damaged as you drain some more of its health, but this one isn't quite dead yet still. It's thrashing it and just letting out large like hoots and roars trying to get out of it all.
I don't know where my duck dice have gone. This is sad.
It's very sad.
Oh, actually, I was gonna say I rolled a save to see if it could get out. It is now out of the net finally, as it just like keeps like wallowing on the ground and trying to move before it gets a hold of it all and like puts a small rip in it and pulls itself out. And we'll start initiative unless you guys do something really quickly here.
Third time to charge.
Trap it.
So where exactly is this thing in comparison to everything else?
Below you
It's
guys
like
about 15 feet on a different ice bridge.
directly
Can we
below
trap
us?
it?
It's pretty well. You can try to. What are you trying to do again?
Try to cable it again.
Yeah, you can fire another net at it. It's if it stays there, it's gonna get tangled again. Just to let you know with how your power works.
I feel like this may be an initiative
Oh, yeah.
call anyway.
Yeah, we have a number of ideas here. I was just giving everybody a chance to throw something out since
I mean, is it within sight of everything else?
it's like 15 feet just below you a little bit.
No, I mean, is it within sight of that area right inside of anyone else? Everything else?
The other bully mongs.
Not immediately right now.
So, if I were to jump down there and just kind of kill it real quick and silence it, do you think that would do anything to...
It might give you a chance to run and the hive be on alert, but not know exactly where you are.
Okay, I'm gonna jump down there. I want to go try and smash its head in real quick with my maul.
All right.
Get off my dice.
It is very weak, so I'm not going to immediately roll initiative because it has been hit twice.
Okay, 21.
Roll to hit. That hits.
Okay, fuck is that? Yeah, 13.
All right.
Wait, no. That's 4.
All right, that is enough as you just drop from above and just bam, smash your hammer into it. So, as its skull cracks and hits the ground roughly on this ice bridge, there's two things that need to happen here.
Need to make a athletics roll to...
One, there's a dex save.
Dex.
As you land amongst these sticky, entangling cables that as you hit almost seem to just start wrapping around and entangling on you.
There's a 15 work?
Correct me if I'm wrong, I think that fails Nessa's DC, doesn't it?
I think she's at
What?
16.
He jumped into your tangling cable spell. Your tangling net spell.
She can't
Alright,
do
no,
that.
so, power.
Mine's 15.
Yeah, she's
Yeah, so you
casting.
fail. Second part here, make an acrobatics check.
Well, if it's for sliding off, ironically, wouldn't the cables stick him in place?
Potentially. I
It
want
might
to
have
see
been a
if he's stuck on the spot here, or if he's stuck hangling. Because remember, this is like a 20-foot cube of
Yeah,
cables.
he's just stuck.
What the fuck is this again?
An acrobatics?
Okay. Yeah. 21?
That's more than enough. You managed to keep
Yeah.
your feet from sliding over the edge, but in the process of doing so, making sure you got sturdy footing, all of these cables started wrapping up and around you.
Okay.
You are currently entangled. Since there's no immediate people here, this is going to be a bit more touch and go than initiative, I'll say. What's everybody doing? As Barry is now 15 feet down below you on a different ice bridge going somewhere else. That goes somewhere else, not that he's going somewhere else.
Where does this
I will say, Nessa, you can deconstruct the net since there's nothing but Barry in there.
Is the net attached to her?
Okay.
The rope?
No, it's attached to the
No.
bridge.
Do any of them have a rope?
I'll take it out. I'll just turn it off.
Okay.
What's on the other
And
side?
you're free of that.
It's
How
on the
high
other
can
side.
Barry jump? I wonder.
Are you asking if you can make it 15-foot vertical?
I'm asking, can I jump? There's a lower gravity. Can I jump high enough that one of them can go? I can grab one of their hands if they're
One?
reaching down.
It's not really a lower gravity. It's just how the worlds work. Two, I'll let two people make athletics checks. I'll make you make one and somebody else make one to try and help this work if you want.
Okay, that's one option. Option two, is there any walls nearby I can climb my way back up?
No, not really. Unless you want to go back to the wall at the edge of this and try to climb up a sloping inwards wall made of ice.
Any of you have a rope?
Sounds like Schmeat's grabbing you.
Sounds like there's a lot of talking going on in a very small time. You guys do have to make a choice.
What is it, acrobatics?
Athletics.
Athletic. Oh, fuck yes.
Who's catching him?
19.
Tex.
It's
The fuck? They're an actual character person. Character player.
Tex can
There's a-
try.
there's a Schmeat.
It's me.
Keep in mind,
Schmeat, help
Schmeat
me.
is size small, trying to haul up a huge, large, medium creature. I'm
He's
not going to
also-
say he can't.
He's also the strongest out of us here.
That's fair.
Grab-
If Schmeat wants to, it can, but Tex has also said an
Can
option
Tex
there.
help him?
On this one, it's just going to be one person.
Grab.
Do you want to try it, Schmeat?
I grab.
All right, athletics from both of you.
19.
Oh.
Fall
I'm
to
going to laugh if this were
Goddamn
Schmeat rolls
death.
a 1.
Hey, don't look
Don't
at
laugh at me.
Tanya or Nessa to be able to haul Barry up. I don't know how strong Crystal
Totally
is.
not.
Not strong enough to haul Barry up.
Barry's a
Barry's
big
left.
guy.
There's big.
Barry's a brick house.
Really is.
What did Schmeat get?
I got it.
Is
I
that a
rolled a
1?
19, so I gotta add it up. I rolled a 19 before adding.
You don't need to add it up. That's more than enough.
So we both got 19, although you
As-
actually didn't have to add anything to that.
So it was which roll was that?
It's
Acrobatic?
athletic. It's 19, and you got plus more. You've made it, man.
That's 25.
Yeah, you've definitely more than made it. This was like a 17. As Barry takes a couple steps back, jumps, goes to reach for it, isn't going to quite make the distance, but Schmeat gets a good grip on like a chunk of ice that's standing out, swings down out like a bit of like a, bullybong reach, and snags Barry's arm, takes a second and just swings him up, and follows with them. Everybody's back on the same bridge now. You guys have a brief transition of what are you guys doing before we start another combat if you're not careful.
Stealthing! And going forward. If we
I
can.
guess we're gonna go forward.
Yeah,
Or
forward
what?
sounds good.
Is there can we hear anything coming up from the forward position on the bridge?
I'm going to genuinely say at this point, there's no easy way to tell because of the way this is like a large cavernous set of tunnels that a lot of creatures are roaring in.
Shit's
I wanna
just
do
like going all around.
Still want to roll a
So I'm
stealth
going to
check.
say you genuinely have no good way of telling. And if you guys wish to make a stealth check, everybody can. Except now, instead of passive, I'll just give you the heads up because you guys have alerted the hive. They are actively going to be rolling to find you instead.
21.
That might be in our favor.
Might be. Doubt it.
21.
Someone's gonna roll on that one, aren't you?
17.
17.
Got 16.
16.
Nessa got a nat 20,
Okay.
and Tex got a 9.
Okay.
Luck.
Man, that's upsetting.
Ooh. Especially
He's
since
big
I think
boy.
Crystal rolled good for once on
No,
stealth.
Crystal rolled bad. Crystal was an 8.
Oh, I'm sorry, I heard somebody else. So there's an 8 and a 9. Okay. Oh shit, I have to look at their bonus. They might have actually fucking failed that check.
Hell yeah.
So with a total of 7, they failed their first their first perception check. How? You rolled an 8 on stealth.
Bullymong no see good.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I was just looking at their wisdom bonus. They rolled their perception is a +4, not a +1.
Oh.
So they rolled a 10 on their perception. Okay. Sorry, looked at the stat and not the skill bonuses. Need to
Why is
not
it
do
different?
that. Because some beasts can have proficiency in things just like people can. For example,
Right,
Bullymongs have
proficiency.
proficiency in the perception skill.
Why?
They
Hunt
have to
the
hunt for
hate
food.
Because the DM wants to kill
No
us.
bad eyes?
I mean,
Well, they
bad
could have-
eyes may be a thing, but at the same time, they can also smell, hear. Number of things. Hearing would be a disadvantage, admittedly, here if that was the case. But
They
you
can
guys start
probably-
rushing through the tunnels.
You can probably fucking smell us.
I have a question as you rush through the tunnels.
Yes.
Is there a target goal of where to go?
I don't think there ever has been.
Let's currently go and try and either towards the biggest thing or towards where there's less noise.
Less noise isn't happening.
Down? I think
Down?
down's probably
Okay.
yeah.
Would
No.
somebody like to roll a d20?
Sure. 4.
Okay. So you guys start rushing through these icy tunnels, basically like a small, like I said, a decently interconnected cave system almost. Rushing back and forth, you guys almost run into one group of bullymongs for skidding, pressing up against the wall. They run past, you run through another one. Keep running. You keep seeing a good thing to note at some point is there's some gear sometimes stuck and frozen in like icy chunks, along with a lot of like bones and remains of people and other animals. Moving across everything pretty steadily, you're having a little bit of luck up until you see a bit of brighter light towards the end of this tunnel you're going to, and you pop out at the not near, but closer to the top of this hive on like a steep drop-off shelf of ice. I say of ice, everything's made of ice, that's redundant. But you popped out of a cave on this like shelf almost at the top of near the top, say like 6 like 3/4 of the way up maybe. It is just a sheer face drop off. And everybody has to like skid real hard to not slide on the ice and shoot off. And as everybody takes a second there, you start to hear them and you see 3 bullymongs coming out of the tunnels behind you as they seem to have caught your scent and followed you out. At this point, we will roll initiative.
It was Schmeat. They smelled him.
I
Schmeat,
smell
you
like
smell
that.
something.
I think Tanya's the only one that's taken a bath this entire time.
Nessa has.
Oh yeah, Nessa had a few months ago, or however long it was when we were at another town.
Well, do I have to say that I take a bath?
You don't
guys
have
could have
anywhere.
bathed in the last town. Please
So
bathe.
you don't have anywhere
Yeah.
to bathe usually.
Nessa's been doing pretty good on staying in places where she can bathe.
Rushing
No,
out of the tunnel, I'll say maybe 25 feet away is a good note. There are, like I said, 3 bullymongs. 2 of them are adults, and 1 of them is a brat.
Oh.
Alright. They're in the same bridge as us.
You guys aren't on a bridge anymore. Remember, you popped out to the outside of this hive, and you're like basically up against like a sheer cliff face of ice, and they're coming out of the tunnel at you.
So back into tunnel.
Guys, let me snatch you one. We can throw it off.
But 25 to 30.
Sure, yes.
I forgot to roll.
because I have to ask.
This is 6. What is that?
Bonus.
Try initiative. Oh. Okay.
Thaddeus, did you say something?
I said, oh right, I need to roll initiative.
I thought you might have just like popped up in the upper 20s for once.
You said 24.
Yep, 2-4.
All right, well then 25 to 20 is what we'll start with, since I think only Dylan can break 25.
Barely, Matt, barely. Yes. Let's do it.
Nobody else on 25 to 20?
Nope. Not for
Oh
me.
boy. 20 to 15.
18.
All right, y'all. Good to know. Initiative is not your strong suit.
I'm doing just fine.
15 to 10.
I got a 10.
I was hoping somebody would follow that up.
Everybody's dead. Except me. Squish. Oh, wait, I can attack
10
twice.
is Schmied. 10 to 5?
10.
Also a 10?
What?
Sorry, Max. Yours cut out for me some. It sounded like 10 on my end. 6!
Oh, cool.
All right. Is
I have
anyone...
8.
Okay.
I roll the
You'll
same
just, like,
number
get
twice.
8 is Crystal.
Fuck.
6 is Nessa. That's all of them. 3 is that. All right. So initiative starts at 24. Barry, they're 25 feet away from you, rushing out of a tunnel that's about 10 feet, 15 feet wide. You guys are back maybe a couple feet away from a cliff edge from where you had to slide to a stop. What would you like to do?
I'm going away from the cliff edge and towards the bully mark. Cause fuck that.
All right, you're going to run 25 feet forwards.
And then smash the bully monk's head in. Or at least
All
try
right, you
to.
can swing at one of them. Well, I mean, you can swing at any of the 3. One of the adults or the brat? Which one?
An adult.
All right.
And then, that's 15. Okay. Plus 7. So yeah, what, 22? So I failed the math.
That will definitely hit.
22 again for the next one after that one.
Yeah, it hit the first time, still hits the second time.
Yeah, no. What the fuck was I? Oh yeah, I was killing things.
Hammer time.
Oh, and I am raging.
All right, bonus action rage. Are you exploding?
No, fuck that.
Noted.
Loud and noisy. Is that for rage? Oh.
Because of the situation this is, definitely keep track of your rages.
Yeah.
Are you at 3 a day yet?
I think he's
so.
at 4 a day.
Where are they? 17.
17 damage to the first one. As you just rush forward, go no, and just clunk it on the head as it rushes headlong into it.
And then 20 on the second one.
And as it staggers, you let it bounce off, spin, and just golf swing and smash its head back upwards. 37. All right. Tanya. Barry just exploded into motion. What's up with
I
you?
did not literally explode.
I said I wanted a statue. We're getting a statue. Okay.
Keep in mind, you've already used 2.
I've used my cantrips.
Oh, those were your cantrip ones you were using. Sorry. The way you said that, I thought you were using your actual effects.
No, I've used my cantrips. I'm not going to probably.
I apologize.
I'm probably not going to be draining health unless I'm missing health
That's fair.
or need an AoE. Progressing, no?
6, right?
What?
We're
Yeah,
level
we're-
6?
Yes.
Okay. So I had to
You leveled up. We leveled you up.
Yeah, so start out to get in section. Just ignore me.
Let's finish off that one, the berry mold.
All right.
Flavor Eyes just skidding on over to it before getting to it, just finger gun at it and slide up next to hopefully a statue.
All right. Throw an attack roll out.
20. Not a critical,
That will
a dirty.
more than hit. As you just power forward and kick off for a second, just kind of like shuffle the feet side to side, getting a bit of sway going to keep your balance as you skid across this ice.
14.
And start to pull from it. And I'll say like starts of it start to fleck and like petrify almost like you're used to, but it keeps going and you see the pieces like shatter and smash off. It is bloodied, but still standing.
Just sliding on next to it and berry. Oh, you be dead now. Oh, you be dead now. Ah,
Skid into
yeah,
melee.
berry.
Okay. Any bonus actions?
Nah, I don't have those. Cost resources or my freebies.
Fair. It is the adult bully monk's turn. So there's 2 groups of people here. One of them that got hit is definitely going to attack you 2. I'm curious if the other one will stay or keep rushing forward.
Shove attack. Go.
The first one is going to swing both of them at Barry first, since Barry did more damage. Uh, 17 and 18 to hit on Barry. Dylan?
Sorry, just checking time. Beautiful. Okay, armor class of 17.
Alright, both of them hit. So, they do their fun-loving amounts of damage.
4? Did you just literally just say 4?
No, both of their hits.
Oh,
He said,
okay.
he said fun-loving amounts of damage. Also,
Yeah.
this gives a better idea of how much health these things have.
You take 11 bludgeoning damage on the first one.
Okay.
Oh, that one's a lot more mean. 24 bludgeoning damage on the second one. And
How
I
much
need you to
did-
make a strength save.
5 for a second. 24, what do you say?
Yeah, 11 and then 24. It's a total
Okay.
of 35.
Gotta
So
do
at
the
4
math.
left on, so at 4 left on my shield, I'm going to take this, subtract that from the 24, you say?
Your
then
shield should have
divide
been
the-
back to full.
Yeah, it was, but then first one hit me.
Fair.
11. The second one,
Yeah.
so it still blocks 4 damage, but then do I go in half the 24 or do I have to 20?
Half the 20.
Okay, so I thought.
And I need you to make a strength save. Now, normally you'll make a strength save at advantage because you're raging. However, you'd be at disadvantage due to the icy terrain interacting with the bully monks. So you have a flat
Add
roll,
anything?
You get
a
a plus
flat
4.
strength save.
Get an extra +4.
That is true.
Right, okay. So the low roll is 18.
18 passes. You should have only rolled once.
But you said a disadvantage though.
No, I said your advantage counters in disadvantage.
Oh. In which case it'd
But
be 19.
it's still a pass either way. I'm gonna say the brat bully monk jumps on Tanya, and the big one's gonna rush past towards the other group.
That's you.
Brat bully monk swings twice. I'm pretty sure an 8 misses Tanya.
Yeah.
But I think a 19 hits Tanya.
Ah, barely.
So it gets one hit on you. Thankfully, it's not near as big as the other one, so it can't do quite the same push as it. As the Brad just jumps on you and like tries to like punch you once as it's clinging on, and you like swerve to the side as it loses grip, and like it's like a half-hearted clobber on the way down, and you take 10 points of damage. And then just bam, and it bounces off the shield before landing flat on the ground again. I will say Tanya gets an attack of opportunity with her melee if she wants on the adult bully monk that runs past.
Yeah. Uh, 18.
That'll hit.
Come, my D10.
These are significantly weaker.
9 damage.
Not dead, but oh, sorry, that's a little one. No, not dead, but you know, slash and cut it open a little bit as it rushes past, and it can barrels on forward. Eeny, meeny. I'm gonna roll a d6 to see who it attacks in this group up here.
Just Superman punch. Not one.
Two.
People just step out of the way.
Schmeat. Oh, no, sorry. Crystal. I read the wrong numbers. I was looking at an old initiative. I have all of it on just a jotted pad. Well, one of those is a nat 1. So the first one just goes wide as it misjudges, and you just kind of like juke to the side, I guess, and it's like, oh god, oh god, oh god. And the second one is a 20 total. I don't know what Crystal's AC is.
Unless she's got a reaction to use.
I'm sorry, say again?
You have
20
20 to hit. The first one is a nat 1 as it skids and misses, and you just dip out of the way, and the second one is a 20 total to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Alright, so one of them hits.
Unless there's a reaction I can use that will make me not get hit
That'd be
that I
nice,
don't
huh?
actually have.
9 plus that.
Yep.
Alright, you take a total of 15 points of bludgeoning damage, and you need to make a strength save at disadvantage. As its whole weight just barrels into the first one skids, but it lashes out with a backhand and smashes into you.
Strength save, you said? At disadvantage?
Yes.
Tanya's nearby. Does that count for saves or ability checks? I can't remember.
She is 25 feet away, unfortunately.
Okay. Doesn't matter. 20.
That is more than enough, as even though it hits you, you manage to keep your feet dug into like a bit of a groove you found, and just shrug with the blow a bit to twist it off and stay standing where you are. Schmeat, you are up.
Oh, okay. How close is everything to me?
There's an adult bullymong right there, and then there is another adult and brat 25 feet away.
Gonna rage and punch him in the face.
The one close to you?
Yep.
Alright. You start to rage, mutate, bones cracking, skin swelling, as like thick, apish bullymong arms start to into existence. At least I assumed that. Sorry, you just said.
Oh yeah. First one is that's 5.
That'll hit, I think. You said 25?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll definitely hit.
Alright. Maybe 15. Second attack.
15 will,
Alright.
15 will hit, yeah.
And then the following attack. That was a 14 hit.
14 also hits.
Okay.
That's 3.
Cool.
Roll your damage.
Damn it. I dropped my phone again.
Oh, that's never good. While we sit here, wait, just a heads up, Crystal, you'll be up next. His damage numbers are too high. They're too powerful. They take.
And total, that's going to be 29 damage.
That is a substantial amount as you really unleash a Bullybong flurry on a Bullybong.
He's
That
going to get
feels
kidney
appropriate
check.
somehow.
Yeah, 2 kidney checks and uppercut.
How dare you not say Bullymong Barrage?
Because I was about to, and I wanted to save that for something else. And now it is out in the open, unfortunately.
Now you can never use it again.
Nope, can never do it. That's how it works.
Shame on you, Eric. You've stolen it from him.
Would you like to move any, Schmeat?
Nah, I'm going to be in his face.
Okay. Crystal, you are up. There is a Bullymong in your face with a Schmeat in its face.
Is this the Bullymong that just hit me?
Yes, it is.
Are there any other Bullymong around it?
Currently, the other two are 25 feet away back into the tunnel.
Give me a second. Yada 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 yada. Ooh, cool. Cool. First of all, I'm gonna punch this one because it's in my face.
Noted.
I'm just gonna roll that first real quick. Does a... I forgot what that number was, and that die just moved.
Was
Is
it
it in
up
the
or
upper
double
team?
digit?
It was 14.
It's
So-
already gonna hit.
So the 20... Okay, cool.
Its AC isn't high. Schmeat just hit it on a 14 as well.
No, I mean, it was 14 on the die.
That's what I'm saying. It's not a super high AC.
Just punching him. Where's my punching him damage? Where is it? Where's my punching him damage?
Gets it.
One
There it
D8.
is.
8.
No, it's a D10
Oh, that's right.
because I have the metal arm.
Ah,
There. I might just roll it on the background.
More than fair.
That's 11 fire damage.
Alright, as you step forward and just wham! Metal superheating as red energy leaks off your arm. And it takes 11, double to 22. Which makes that very charboiled one as it just leaves a huge like fist imprint burned into its chest as it roars. It is also very bloodied.
Then you
Yes,
said there was...
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
not done yet.
That's right, you have more.
I have more stuff I
Sorry.
can do. You said the other two were... There's two more in the cave 25 feet away?
Yes, right up the ones that are fighting with Barry and Tanya.
Cool. I'm gonna punch out with a line of fire. This time, which goes 30 feet. So they all must make a save of some sort that I can't remember what save is.
Probably a dex. I will give you the fair warning that you'll probably hit Tanya and Barry if you do this.
I don't think he cares.
I'm just offering it up to him so he knows.
I already
I'm
said I
not
was gonna go
surprised.
do it. I can't.
I'm
take
just
it
saying,
back. I
this
didn't
is
know they were in the
something-
way.
This is something you can see. That's why I'm offering it to you. It wasn't explicitly stated before.
Well, still want to kill those two as well.
It could very much fuck up the bully monks for sure. I was just saying.
It's okay. It's pretty in character.
It is.
It
and I don't
is.
like y'all.
You don't like us now. Do it.
All right. Dex saves for everybody then.
30, 20. Barry, you got, remember, you got a +4 extra.
Everybody?
Sorry, not
8.
you. You're not in the way.
Okay.
I would never
Oh.
aim it.
I
Nessa.
failed. 8. Guess where?
That's with advantage and your extra +4.
Yes.
All right. The brat surprisingly passed with a really high one. The other one one of them got a 15.
That meets.
All right, so that's 2 passes, and I know for a fact the other one failed. The one right in front of you, I'm gonna say, straight up failed because you just, in its chest, unleashed a line of fire.
Yeah, that's total of 6 fire for everyone who passed.
Unless
So
those
12
who
normally.
failed.
Everyone who failed. Sorry, that's 6 for everyone. Who
Okay,
failed.
so Barry, you take 12.
I don't have it. Okay.
No, it's actually doubled because you're fleshy, I think, right now.
Okay.
Oh, did he get hit and lose his shield already?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
he's not raging.
And
I'm raging.
the rat
You
is
said it
dead.
doubled anyways.
As Crystal punches out and unleashes a torrent of fire that it consumes all 3 bullymongs and both of the combatants up front. Tanya admittedly getting mostly out of the way, and when the torrent falls, the brat bullymong is charred on the ground, and the 2 adult bullymongs are worse off.
And
Oh,
there's
I
no
was gonna-
having. Huh?
I was gonna make a hat out of that. That's all burnt.
The rat one fighting Tanya and Barry.
Tanya. Mostly
Yeah.
Tanya.
So the one that's still right in front of me is still alive.
Yes. You heard it, and it's really bad off, but it hurt, but it's still alive.
Okay. Bonus action. I'm gonna punch him again.
Okay.
Just letting you know that's my plan of action.
Yeah.
Yes, that hits.
Most likely, yes.
I don't want to do math. 23.
It's above
There
a
you go.
14. If it's above a 14, you already know it hits. I think that's the lowest attack roll so far that has hit.
Is this a D10? I think this is my D10.
Unarmed arm strike, I think, is a D8 for you. The
No
D6.
longer replaces my unarmed strikes.
That's true. D10 can be used.
And
Total
it
of,
Gets converted to fire.
and it gets converted to fire. 11 fire damage? 11
Unless
fire
Matt,
damage.
22.
unless Matt wants to rule it as technically a weapon.
No, I already marked it down as an improvement to your unarmed strike. As the energy coalesces again, still burning hot from the previous blast, and you just BAM! And you start to sizzle and sink into it some. And then pull it out, and it just kind of on the ground. That one is dead. There's only one left. I believe that is all crystals, unless she wishes to move.
Where's Nessa right now?
Next
I'm
to you.
assuming near you.
Right. Nessa was in the thing scripts. I'm sorry. I forgot. And no, I don't need to move.
Okay.
Yeah, not moving.
Nessa, you're up.
Is there any bully Where's the nearest bully mob? Bully buddy.
There's only one left. It's about 25 feet away, fighting Barry.
Okay.
Really? That one's still alive? Okay.
I would like to shoot it.
Go for it.
How far away is it?
25 feet.
Oh. Ah.
It's not in the penalty range.
It'd still be disadvantage, right?
No,
No.
not in your penalty range.
Okay. I just learned. I learned what rules today.
What rule
I would like to shoot it.
She thought the penalty on the sniper rifle was a lot farther than it was. Thankfully not.
To 19.
Oh, very much so.
That's 17.
That hurts a lot. It just echoes and a bullet smashes into its shoulder.
How does it look?
It's very bloodied. You have a second shot, don't forget.
Oh, I do? I forgot about that. I'm gonna shoot it again.
How you doing on sniper ammo?
I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Oh, so you have the artificer thing, so you just have unlimited ammo.
Yeah,
For
that's a
what?
dirty 20.
That will definitely hit.
That is max damage,
Which is...
which is 18.
Alright, 18 is just enough. As it rears back from the second one, you line up and the head is just gone. And initiative is over on this one.
Whew.
Sorry about that. I kinda didn't see y'all on the way.
Tanya just points at Barry. Bullshit.
I saw a big bully monk grab Nessa. And everything
What?
else just... I thought I grabbed Nessa. I saw a big bully monk. And that's it.
Barry's just giving you a deadpan stare, just
You have
really.
a small fire on your shoulder.
He brushes it out.
It's just
88 and...
fair warning. As they all have let out their echoes and roars that have echoed down into the cave, you hear more coming up again.
Time to move. Stealth. Is there just a ledge or is there a path around the red ledge?
This one is just unfortunately a dead end. It was some bad luck. You have to go back inside, or maybe scale down the ledge, like the cliff face itself, and aim for a different one.
Do we see anything down the cliff ledge?
Oh, there's a number of other entrances down the ways.
Anything like nice and directly below us?
Kind of. There's a slope on a lot of things, so landing would be iffy, but you could try.
How iffy.
Any kind of a slope and landing on ice after a fall, iffy.
Look, I know in real life I could not do that, but I don't know how that translates to D&D, alright?
That's it's an iffy one. It's a rough landing.
Alright, fuck it.
I'm
What
not giving you like
what
it's not a
thing would it
DC, it's
be,
just a-
Matt?
Huh?
What would it be? Athletics, acrobatics, what?
Probably acrobatics to keep balance on ice and land. Although, if you have an alternative you can offer through your skill, through some other options, you can also do so.
Athletics?
How would you use athletics in this case?
I go and steal one of those fucking buzzsaw axes that they go and have and use them as an ice axe.
We have the Barry. You have the ice climbing gear.
I have ice climbing gear. I go and use my ice climbing gear to go down. I do in fact have ice gear. Just
Are,
was
are
it.
you using actual safety ice climbing gear to try and scale down right now?
Apparently, I have ice gear. I don't know what the fuck
That
that
will
means.
take a second.
You bought it.
Well, on hand, do I have fucking ice hammers or axes or whatever the fuck it is? Use
Yeah,
it
I
and
think
slow
that was
myself.
part of what you guys bought. I gave you guys a list. I thought you
Do I
wrote it down.
have rope? You just
You
told
have
me.
your inventory.
I just have
I don't
ice gear written down.
Yeah, I don't remember getting a list. I just remember like a pick.
I
didn't give us the
I
list.
listed off what somebody.
Ice gear.
I listed off what you guys could get and what you guys bought. I'm assuming rope would be part of an ice climbing kit.
Okay. So, I'm gonna go down there. I'm gonna leave this rope up here. And you're gonna use this as a guide rope to come down. Understand? Yes? Sound good? Speak? Someone who's not me?
Give him a second to speak.
No, who's gonna
I'm fine.
raise her hand?
Yes.
Tex can't use rope.
I will
You can
pick the
cut-
damn robot up then. Okay. Wait, don't
can
you have a
remember
little
you got
robot
your
ball for it?
You can do
Put
the skill
text in
test.
your backpack.
Doesn't that thing have claws? Can it just climb down easier than us?
Never mind, it was a problem for no reason. She's gonna put Tex back in his little pocket dimension.
Text
All right,
disintegrates into
anyone
destruct
else?
particles.
Anyone else? Hopefully before the Borderlands come? Yes? No?
Sounds good.
Let's
All
get
right.
going.
So, would that still be athletics?
You can use athletics with the picks.
Okay.
Are you jumping and sliding, or are you just trying to like one at a time climb down?
Jumping and sliding?
Hell yeah.
And I got a nat 20?
That works. You just slide down this ice, and you probably drop a good 90 feet down to the next tunnel before it catches to a stop.
And there's rope up there. So, they can just come down now. Nice and
Alright,
safe.
you guys. So toss the rope over. How you guys have ice climbing kit? You guys have pittons. You can secure it and start to shimmy on down.
Now,
It
can I...
is still an athletics check for people to shimmy down the rope properly.
While they're doing that, can I stealth and take a quick peek ahead to make sure there's nothing that's just gonna pop out and get us?
Yes. Let me get everybody's athletic check real quick, and then we will do yours. It is a lot lower because you have a rope helping you.
Okay.
I got an 18.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I thought so.
Nat 20.
That's also pretty good.
17.
That's also pretty good. Just Crystal left.
6.
Oof.
I've rolled 5. 4 times. today.
Oof. So I'm gonna go in the order that you guys gave it to me, is the order you guys went. Is everybody just shuffled and started sliding down, doing pretty good. And just, feet in, rope held, slide down some, get good feet, slide down some, get good footing, slide down some more, get good, better footing. And Crystal, as you go to slide, you just put, and you start to,
Do I get
as you hit a
bonus
slick
from
patch.
Tanya?
Can you what?
Do I get a bonus from Tanya being nearby?
Nope.
This isn't a save, this is a check.
Okay, it saves. I didn't know it was
Yeah, it
saves
is
or bonus
saves.
X.
As you,
Um,
and everybody looks up and sees Crystal as she starts to speed past. What does everybody want to do in this instance? Barry, you're stepping in to go into stealth while this was all happening, unfortunately, so this isn't part you can help with.
And that point, I got a 21.
Crap, we're on the way down.
I was gonna say, if somebody wants to attempt, they can try to. It'll be an athletics check.
17. That seems to be my number.
17, I'll say, is just enough as you swing your hand out and like lock arm for a second and just hit, and you slide down almost uncontrolled for like 10 feet before getting a good grip and like locking your feet back into a particular crack, and the just jerk like pulls on your arm as you're holding up yourself and Crystal. However, no damage. You guys can shimmy your way back down. 21 stealth is pretty good.
Let us know when we get our shields back.
Oh yeah, shields.
You will in just a second, because Barry's inside doing a little bit of a check around. Just go ahead and mark him up since you guys had to shimmy down 90 feet on ice. Barry, make a perception check.
Oh no.
Where do I add to perception?
Wisdom.
I try to wait for things shit to load.
It is in fact a wisdom skill, but he doesn't know about perfect.
8. Okay. 8.
8 total.
No,
Man.
8 period. I add nothing to this.
That's why I said 8 total. So, looking around, there is ice. There is ice. That's kind of bright. It's kind of loud in here, but that's normal at this point. That's about it.
I gotta sneak back to the group.
Okay.
A super good stealth, but super bad perception.
As everybody gets to the bottom, Barry shows back up. Everybody's back in a group.
Yeah, I took a quick peek ahead. I didn't immediately see anything out there. But you know how that goes. Doesn't mean there's not something there. So, everyone good? Everyone good? Not
I'm doing
dead?
okay. Crystal almost fell. No, she
Thanks
did
for
fall.
catching me, by the way.
It's a shame. Oh, I mean nothing. Anyway, so let's get on with this set.
All right. It'll be another D20 roll to see where you guys end up, because again, you're just kind of guessing at a bunch of interlocking tunnels.
8.
Okay. Are you guys proceeding stealthily still?
I am.
Yeah.
Something like it.
Have another
Stealth
set
roll
of checks.
continue? Do I have to go and roll again?
Yes, because you are now stealthing with a
Oh.
whole crew.
I rolled even better.
That's okay.
Wait, fuck. 25 now.
12.
Okay.
Nessa rolled a 10.
Okay.
Tex is still in the ball.
Yeah.
I have another 8 because I rolled 5 for the 5th time. I think I need to change out my dice.
Just keep
Okay.
punching. Just gotta keep punching good, that's all.
Shmi, out of curiosity, what did you get?
Oh, we're on stealth again?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. That's another nat 20.
Okay.
Give me some of your luck, please.
So oddly enough, the 2 barbarians are the stealthiest people.
How did that deliberately? I had great fun with it.
It's just a fun image in my head. As you guys continue about, honestly, you just end up back after a little bit of interweaving on the same bridge as the start when you alerted everybody. And this time, I'm going to say because you're at the payboys. There are 4 bullybong amongst the bridges here that notice you as you guys rush in just a little bit too quickly. As you guys are trying to figure out what to do, and I think Nessa is walking, something clanks hard off of your gear. Tanya, you're not particularly loud, but you're also not particularly quiet.
I'm sorry.
Believe
Crystal.
that Nessa tripped and let Tex out of the ball, and that's what made the noise.
And Crystal, I think with an 8 at this point, you just saw that and went, for fuck's sake, after it hit, because stealth is already ruined.
Stealth doesn't matter. Who cares about stealth?
So-
We're gonna scene anyway.
You guys are back in the main chamber. I have to ask, are we going to initiative for you to fight, or are you guys going to run this time? Because running is actually an option this time.
Yeah, but then they don't die.
Wait, is there? You say we're in the main chamber, right?
Yeah, that huge, circular, cylindrical hollow area with a bunch of intercrossing ice bridges.
How far up?
Hard to
Just the
say.
chamber.
You can't really see the bottom very well.
Okay, so bottomless pit. Run away and then stealth again. Or no. Wait, since they fucked up the stealth, can I try and stealthily run away with us?
If you wish to ditch the party.
Oh, damn it, I can't. Time to
You
run.
could.
Trust me, I could. Matt.
This is me asking
I
for a
very much
group
could.
decision of you see a bunch of at least 4 bullybongs inside easy in this big open chamber. What's your guys' choice as a whole?
Obtain food. That's my choice.
Look around at the others,
Thank you.
tossing knife, sitting there spinning her knife.
You too.
All right.
Are they big
That sounds
adult
like a vote for
bullywugs or what?
combat. These are all adult bullybongs this time.
Why should we attack them? Can we not run past them or something?
None of them are on your bridge. You could run past. That's
So,
why I'm asking. Just a
time to
quick
run.
question.
Yeah.
What everybody wanted to do. We have one run, one fight. This is kind of a group thing, unless you wish to split the group.
Barry's going to start making it toward the other side, but he's not going to actually abandon the rest of the group. Just make it very clear he's not planning on staying.
Nessa also like to run.
Ah, that's what we're going to do then.
Tex scrambles up to his feet. Nope. It's just following.
Tex doesn't want to be here either.
All right. That's 2. This is what I'm trying to ask people as a group. A lot of people are just staying
I'm gonna go
quiet.
with them.
Nessa was
All
running.
right.
Crystal was running.
It sounds like overall it's a running kind of moment.
That appears to be the consensus.
As everybody starts barreling forward, fuck this, as the loud roars echo out and up and across the ice and everything. How are you guys going to try and ditch them? I'm curious as you start sprinting down these tunnels.
Can Nessa throw a rock in the opposite direction?
Running very
Yeah, you
quickly.
can try. Sound isn't exactly in everybody's favor here. I was just asking for a sight thing as they're getting close, as they're chasing, and they are fairly quick.
I wanna
Remember,
look-
the sound is not a great, reliable method here, as I've been pointing out earlier. Everybody's roaring really loudly and it echoes terribly.
Hey, question. Okay, I want to look around me. This is ice. Tunnels of
Yes.
ice. Okay.
Yes.
So, going off of my... Hopefully I can get this. Okay, now. So, I am really good at demolitions. I flat out have a thing for demolitions. Even if I don't have any explosives on hand. I should be able to go and use that to look at stuff and see where things would fuck up if they did something, right?
I will let you use it to make a check for fault lines.
Okay.
Or faults in the structure, if that's what you're asking.
Yes. So if I hit the wall really, really hard in a certain place, can I break the fucking wall? Not the wall, but collapse the tunnel behind us as we run away?
You could attempt to do so. I don't know how successful it would be. It would be depending on the athletics, but I would let you attempt to do so.
It's athletics. Okay.
It'll be a
Yep.
check demolition
Going with it.
defense spot, and then an athletics to try and see how well it's shattered.
Okay, I'm.
Pull up Jethro's instructions on how to blow shit up.
No,
Well,
that
I'm
was for
proficient.
graphic stuff, remember.
I am proficient in explosives, though.
You are proficient in the
Explosive kit?
demolition kit.
Yeah. Sorry, what the fuck did I even do? Do I add advantage or what?
Just roll your demolitions kit first.
And my nice green metal dice save my fucking ass again. At 20.
Okay. Now roll your athletics check as you're running along, and you actually hit the brakes for a second and let everybody run past you as you pivot and start to swing your hammer at you see probably a warmer spot. Maybe something was leaning up against it. Maybe something hot was here recently. You don't know, but it's a bit of a weak fracturing point in this ice.
Well, on one hand, I did roll a 12. On the other, I have +7 to athletics. So
And
I think I did
19.
pretty good.
I'll say you cause a decent bit of ice to start caving and falling as you sprint away. I'll give you guys a chance for stealth, as it'll slow them down for just a moment at least. As ice starts to rain and fall behind you guys.
26. God, stealth.
17.
17 also. That's just my number for the night, it seems.
Eventually, y'all get lucky on some stealth.
Well, you fuckers are going to get us all killed one of these days, but alright. So everyone else is very quiet. Can everyone else hear them?
I haven't said
Next roll low again.
Text got a 17 and Desmond got a nat 1.
Oh, no!
My 13
Okay.
does not matter anymore. Cool.
I'm very
That was a roll.
sorry.
She's tried so bad at stealth. But she's running and
Somebody
running and
roll
runs straight into a wall.
20.
19.
Okay, 19's really good as you guys run for a while. Running, keep going. You guys start to run up, and you guys start to churn at one of the tunnel points, and Nessa just does not churn and keeps sliding and just BAM! Smashes into one of the walls at full speed,
That she
leaving a
knocked
huge
herself
loud
unconscious.
echo everywhere. No, she's not unconscious. And
Nessa,
it's
you
sprawling
okay?
across the ground.
Look like that hurt.
Ow.
Nessa, as they ask, "Are you okay?" you watch as part of the ice wall in front of you shifts, and a face opens its eye.
Wait, say again?
I said, as Nessa, as they ask you, "Are you okay?" part of the ice wall in front of her shifts, and then it opens a huge eye. As you see that it wasn't just ice; it is frozen fur.
Mhm.
Is it
Yeah,
the bullet
I
one
don't-
we're looking for?
And everybody is briefly deafened after as it roars.
Can I run forward real quick, grab her, and run back?
We're gonna go into initiative at this moment because of the penalty of a nat 1.
I'm so sorry, guys.
I'm a stealth god, but my comrades are not.
You feel the plight of the rogue.
Has never had a sneak
Actually-
before.
Important question before I roll. We have this roll. Are you guys gonna run from this thing?
How big is it?
How big is it?
This is very obviously at this point as it starts to move and roar. The frozen one that ripped through the town.
Oh, it's the one we're looking for. Oh. Can we kill it?
Are you guys going to fight this one or run?
Kill it.
But didn't we come here to kill it?
It's faster
Kill
than
it.
us.
You do have a chance if you can get out of arm's reach to run back into the tunnels because it is big.
Or we can murder it.
Or you can murder it. Sounds like murder's
How
the
far
plan.
is the tunnel from here?
You're in it? You're just at the mouth of it.
The tunnel?
Yes.
Well, how far till it can't reach me?
That's a good question. Its arm reach is debatable.
50 feet long.
But it also sounds like
Speculative.
most of your allies are about to activate murder.exe.
Well, I want to murder.exe, but I also am squishy. So
You're allowed
I
to
would like to
retreat
have
back.
some cover.
We're gonna roll initiative then.
Mm-hmm.
You should know we're always hungry for blood.
Blood for
And
the
flesh.
blood gods.
Corn for the cornflakes.
God, skull throne.
Oh no, corn for the cornflakes feels the most appropriate for this group. 25 to 20.
20.
I got a 22.
Woo.
Same. Not 20 for 22.
Is Crystal another 5?
No. My dice heard me complaining about them and decided to give me a good number. Decent number today. This time.
I just got a fucking 10, bitch. Well, I had 8 to it, so it's 18, but still. Not super high for once.
I'm sorry, 20 to what did Crystal get?
Not more than 20.
Okay. We're at 20 to 15.
I have 19.
19 and then 18. I like how, oh no, danger. Everybody's dice is like, oh god, danger. Schmeat, buddy, where you at? No, Schmeat's up there. Why did I say Schmeat? Tanya?
Oh, I said mine at the first. 20.
20. Oh, that's the one I forgot to write down. Okay. Oddly enough. As this combat starts, about bullybongs, well, oddly enough, someone else somewhere else is listening to bullybongs as well. Just kind of having a little bumpy ride, feeling the motion
Right.
of this
Yeah.
ocean, and it's very disgusting when you put that concept into mind of what you're listening to.
I shifted gears
Right,
and did
yeah.
not activate the battle music once you finished the initiative thing. Good for me. Okay.
Meanwhile, you watch as Brewer reaches up and pulls the tape out of the echo recorder, and mercifully the sound stops.
And then pulls in the second tape.
Pulls the second tape in, pulls the second tape out, pulls it in, and it's the Furnaces of Fur, Part 2.
You're welcome, Eric.
There's
Enough
nothing
of
to be
that.
done here.
Back to the other bullymong.
This is working through punishment.
This is the real punishment. 22, top of the line is Schmeat this time.
I even go over to me. Just a joke.
Wouldn't it be Nessa?
No,
We'll go for
Schmeat.
22.
I gave it to Schmeat because he got a nat 20 on his.
I also got an at 20.
Well, you
Wait.
know what? Who the fuck? I don't care. Nessa or Schmeat can go first.
And that
You can
20
go
for you
first.
would be, and that 20 for you would be 25 then, since higher. Oh wait, no, you use intelligence for shooting. That's right. Thinking you were max dex.
Mm-mm.
So Schmeat, you're up, buddy. You heard a deep roar that you remember from last time, and you never got to punch it.
Rage.
Rage. Okay.
Commence the punching.
Commence the punching as you race back towards it. Bullymong arms mutating and bubbling and cracking out into existence.
First one going to be 16.
That will not hit.
All right.
As you run forward and throw it out and just smash into an icy wall.
Second one, so 23.
That will hit. As you find a gap in the ice and just wham, smash into the fur.
And last attack, 19.
19 will currently miss as you... Oh no, that piece wasn't ice. It looked like fur, but it was ice.
Right. Eight, 11 damage.
All right, 11 damage as it just... It's just like rubs its arm for a second, like that hurt. Not really. It lets out a bellow as you punch it. Still punched it pretty hard still.
Hey, Nessa.
Yeah.
You should know.
I believe that is Nessa's turn. Up next.
Nessa would like to get away from the bully mog.
How far back do you wish to go?
Probably my full distance. Not my full distance I can go without using my turn.
All right, you can move 30 feet back. I will tell you, as you move 30 feet back, at the 15-foot mark, it manages to wiggle its arm in and is going to lash out at you.
Wow. Long arm.
Rude.
Reach acquired.
Shit. 15.
No.
As you go, no, and just throw yourself forward and slide and then roll back up to your feet as the arm barely scritches, like grasps above you in this whole tunnel before ripping it back out and messing up the tunnel some. That worked out pretty well for you there. I had to roll low then. I seem to be going alternating between low and high.
She's going to turn and give a pew pew.
2 pew pews.
Yeah. One is a 21,
That'll hit.
and the other one an 18.
An 18 will not currently hit. As you fire the first one and it smashes into down the palm and up into the arm some, the second one hits some of the ice that's cording over the fingers and ricochets off.
That's a 17 damage.
All right. As it roars and throws its hand back and forth, splattering blood everywhere.
And Tex doesn't have fire yet, does he?
No, that's what we discussed for later.
Also, fire an ice cage. Not good idea.
Now we gotta melt this armor off.
Yes, but might also melt the surroundings and kill us all. Okay.
Yeah. We get
But
there.
what's Tex doing?
Matt? Axe?
I'm
She's
thinking.
I just heard silence from it.
It was we had 8 seconds, man.
I don't know, she just went silent halfway through a word for me.
She was humming. She was humming on my end.
The hand that tried to grab Nessa, he's gonna give it a little bite.
All right, as it's lashing about with that, roll to hit.
$25.
Will definitely hit, as on one of the bits where it's throwing its hand around because it hurt, Tex darts out, bites hard, and skips back a couple steps back into the cave.
That's 6.
All right. That seems to be all that. Tanya, you're up.
Hey, Krista, can you do that fire thing and punch the ice off and melt the ice off so it's not an armor thingy? Oh, sorry. You! Big fuck!
Yes?
I owe my sword, not you.
Okay.
I need my sword back. I'm marking it.
Okay.
Hey, let's go for double stab. Run up alongside.
Double step.
Run up beside along Schmeat. Damn. 11. No, that's a miss.
That is in fact a miss as it just shatters off of some ice. That was poor phrasing. Your sword does not shatter.
Harder. And the next one is 23.
That
Oh,
will in
that'd
fact
be
hit.
pretty funny.
As it bounces off, you take a step forward and just you say harder and cleave down on that spot and split through a little bit of the ice into its arm. Dun 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 dun.
Eh, 17.
17 points of damage is pretty hefty.
I've got the extra D6.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying that's a hefty slash. As it like also lets out that roar of you guys are just messing up like this one arm. It hasn't like fully got it back and repositioned it. So you guys are just stabbing this arm repeatedly. Anything else?
That's bonus movement. Heck.
All right, on its turn, it is going to like look in roaring, and as it's looking in and trying to like shuffle around to see it, something of note that's still there is that sword is still embedded in its shoulder. The other thing of note that you're realizing is it starts to take a deep breath and a roar, and everybody needs to make a con save as a rush of icy winds and frozen particles rush down the hallway, gusting through everything, causing more frozen actions.
Well, Schmeat
Or
gets the
frozen.
save. It's the extra save.
Schmeat gets the bonus, Tex gets the bonus. Nobody else does currently. Do.
Blackjack.
Dead con save, right?
Con save.
Gotcha.
So, I doubt 11 passes. Wish I do.
We'll find out.
Everyone make con saves.
Yes.
Okay.
23.
23.
Tex have to make con.
He does. He does get a +4 to it though because of Tanya.
So that'd be 27 then.
A +4 to what he already has.
No,
Yep.
no, yeah, Schmeat does get it, yeah. Sorry.
So what he has +4 also.
Yes.
Does Max get one? Does Nessa?
Nessa does not.
Nope.
Nessa got too far away.
That's
Okay.
Crystal.
Crystal is
No.
also too
Nessa
far back.
has a 23.
Gotta be
pretty
next
good,
to Tanya. Gotta be next to Tanya to
Very
get the
good.
buff. No.
Barry.
Barry does
Okay.
not.
Tex has a 24.
That's pretty good. Barry does not. Barry's also too far back. Everybody started like a good distance, a decent distance away from Nessa because this is her running into it and smashing. And the people that got it were the people who ran up during that turn.
Con save 23.
Okay.
See, no one needed it even.
Barry failed.
Very proud.
He wouldn't have passed with it.
Barry got an 11. What do you have your bonus as?
4.
Okay. So, Barry, we'll get to you a second, actually. Everybody else, you take 16 points of cryo damage as this breath echoes, like roars down through it, frost forming on all the surfaces. Tex's heater helps him out. It's just a bad frozen time. Icicles, like, as pieces drip off. Everybody's movement is reduced by 10 from taking cryo damage.
So it's very
Barry.
What you just said?
Yes.
So you take. Hold on, I'll get back to that. Sorry. Repeat. You took 16 cryo damage, and your movement is reduced by 10 feet. I mean, that's what I said. Hold on. This isn't yours. This is the passing one. The failing one, I'm getting ready to tell what is.
I don't know what cryo means. Does that mean it goes past my shield?
Ice.
Oh,
No, it's just
damage.
ice damage.
Did I take
So
3
shield, no
damage?
shield.
Your shield still blocks it, yes. It's just
Okay.
from ice damage.
We have less movement.
Barry,
Doesn't matter.
You take,
I'm where I want to be.
you take 33 cryo damage, and you are restrained until the end of your next turn. Unless somebody can spend their action to try and bust you out earlier.
Would him exploding in rage break himself out?
That's a good question. I'll think about that before I get to his turn. Having done that with its action, it is going to drop low. Not actually going to drop low. It's going to jump up higher and start climbing up the ice wall some.
So it's running away?
Opportunity.
I will say Schmeat and Tanya and Tex get some opportunity attacks.
Give him a bite.
24.
He knows no fear.
Hits.
Dirty 20.
Hits.
1 second. I'm gonna go back inside. What's up with the dogs?
7.
14.
All right. Just got to get Schmeats then.
I think I'm gonna shoot him.
What?
I got my shotgun.
No, this is he left your melee range attack of opportunity.
Oh, I'm a
Yeah,
punch.
guns don't get attacks of opportunity from just them
Oh,
being
yeah,
in the
I forgot.
range.
Put my fist go.
That would be a cool feature to earn out later, though.
Which part? The Star Wars feature. Ah, yes. Attacks of opportunity with your guns. Too bad. If you have sharpshooter, they gotta be leaving like over 120 feet minimum.
Yeah.
23.
23 will hit. Actually, even without sharpshooter, most of them required that still. And you'd be at penalties.
You fool, you've left my 1,200 foot range.
Let me
Taking
see if
8
you're
damage.
inside. Alright, as you BAM! Smash into a bit of explosive flesh as it rushes past upwards. Just gonna use it on a section for that. And Crystal, you're up.
Crystal is up. Things and stuff. How far away is the bully monk?
Currently the big frozen boy is out of sight. He went up.
He
And
went
you are
up.
about 20 feet into the cave. Excuse me.
Um, 20 feet into the cave. I should move 20 feet out of the cave so I can see him potentially.
Alright. As you sprint up forward and just past everybody a little bit, you skid out onto the ice bridge just a few feet, look up, and he is about 40 feet up right now, hanging off of one of the ice bridges. And it looks like he's pulling on something.
Did he grab anyone before he went up?
No.
Cool. It's not my problem then. Barry is frozen in ice. Where is he?
He was back where you started.
Is he still frozen?
Yes.
Yes.
As an icy shell has formed around him, like you can see he's not frozen himself like through, but you can tell an icy shell has formed around him and is trying to restrain him and stop him from moving as he's like straining, and you can hear ice creaking and groaning.
Cool. Because I don't want to be out here when whatever he does happens, I'm gonna run 10 feet back inside, and I guess throw a buzz axe at Barry, try to break open the ice.
Okay, make an athletics check.
It's a nat 20. Goes right through. Gets me in the throat. Max damage.
Athletics check.
That'd be a nat 1 in this case.
I mean,
I don't know.
I kind of did roll in that one.
Did you?
Yeah.
Alright, I wanna hold on.
Bring it on.
That's what I get for rolling my dash.
Bring it on.
Roll a d8 of damage.
I'm not even raging. This is just straight damage.
No, it's 5.
It's 5 damage?
Yep, 5. You want me to add my
As you
modifier?
throw the
Like a
buzz
melee
axe
weapon?
at it, it goes and the hilt just goes pink, boom, flies back and like cuts across your thigh.
More damage
Does
to
it
me today
ricochet
than
back?
anything else.
He didn't hit you. He hit
What?
Crystal hit themselves. The haft of the axe hit the ice, and it just ricocheted back and cut across their thigh.
I know. I thought you said it hit me. Okay.
As you're just there, like, what the fuck?
I'll bring 5 more damage.
Like, Crystal, you thought physics worked in a way, and apparently today they do not.
Apparently do not. I'm not going to try that again.
That's fair.
Did I? Then I'm not going to try that again. I have nothing else I need to do.
Alrighty.
Do you have a question?
Yes.
What was that fire crystal thing that you had me pick up?
I believe I sent it to you. Hold on.
I do not see anything that says
I might
anything about
have
it.
sent. Might not have sent. I have bad luck on that sometimes. I will get back to you and search for that real quick. I'll have it before the start of your next turn if you're good with that.
Yep, that's fine. Thank you very much.
I do have a question. How far into the tunnel do you want to be?
As far as I can get. My movement's been reduced by 10, so 10 feet is as far as I can get.
Okay. 10 feet inside. That brings it to Barry.
Oh.
You are currently restrained.
Yes. Well, I could probably explode and break this. But that also sounds like a really fucking bad idea. Can you even see the
Exploding
guy
isn't-
dead boy man? What'd it say?
You cannot see him currently.
No, you're saying something like explosion.
Yeah, I said if you rage and explode, there's a potential for it breaking the ice and getting your turn.
Yes, but it could also have potential to go and break the rest of it, you said. It's not a thing.
Risk reward.
Could you will?
You know what? Can I just go and take a look about and see how hardy the rest of this fucking ice it looks to be?
No, you're covered in ice. You can't make good viewing of anything. You are covered in
You're gonna
ice.
do that? Okay, fine. I go and break the goddamn ice. I struggle. Was it athletics, probably?
It's just it's a until the end of your turn thing.
Okay, I guess I just go and sit
You
here and
can
do
still
nothing.
rage if you want to and have that ready for next turn. You still have your turn. You're just restrained, which means attacks are at disadvantage. You can't move.
Can't move. I can't do anything, and it's out of sight.
It is currently out of sight.
Ugh. Okay, fine. I'll take your hints. I explode.
I wasn't giving hints, but okay.
Oh, you weren't?
Rage and explode.
Okay.
Roll a d20 if you want. If you would, for me.
You've already made me regret this.
I wasn't giving hints. I was giving options.
Alright. I fucked up. 5.
All right. No, it's nothing bad. It just means it's not a 5. That's 2. That's not. Well, it was a 10 or above thing. It's just you explode and the ice rattles some, and by the end of your turn, you manage to shrug it off. But it costs you your whole turn still. Do you have an action you wish to do while restrained?
Nothing. Can I send a message as a bonus? Where'd the fuck the monkey go?
Tanya, point.
Can't see. I think.
Well, I
No,
mean, you
you're
can't
cool.
text. You're frozen, man.
Well, can I say that though?
When you get out of the ice at the end of your turn, yes.
And then he'll be able to see.
And then you'll be able to see.
That's useless. Okay, so no, there's absolutely nothing I can do.
I was just asking. I don't know what all the stuff you have.
Nothing. I have nothing. I'm an explosives expert who has no explosives right now. Every time we get to a town, somebody leads the enemy straight to us, or there's a giant
It's
attack.
okay. It's all right. We can move on to Schmidt then.
Yes, this guy. Eat him, Schmeat.
How far away is he?
Schmidt. He is 40 feet up.
That's okay. I have 30 feet of movement.
Are you wishing to try to climb the wall to get to him?
Yep.
All right. Make an athletics check.
Okay. 25.
25 is really good. I'll let you start to climb the icy wall. What is your movement speed?
You said I lost 10 feet of movement, right?
Yeah.
So it's 30.
All right. 30 feet. So you can only make it 15 feet up the wall with just your movement as you start to just like try to climb the slippery, icy surface.
So he's... How away is he? He said he was how far up?
He's 25 away from you now. It was
Okay,
40.
He's 25 feet above me.
Correct.
Damn. Just out of the line. Shoot him. 2080.
All right. Here's a tricky part. A shotgun's a two-handed weapon.
Hmm.
You jump off into the middle of the air and then shoot as you
Use the
fall
re-
to your death.
You use the recoil to hit back into the wall.
There's a shotgun jump.
Are you letting go? Wait, how do you want to handle that? Sorry, you just started climbing and a shotgun is a two-handed weapon.
Can I use an attack to punch a hole into the ice and then brace my elbow into it, leaning into it, and just take a shot?
Interesting one. I'll let you have a shot at disadvantage, but you could fall back down.
That's fine. Apple. Alright.
That would be a disadvantage anyways, 25 feet, huh?
Yep. Worth it.
Just Shui just has an elbow kind of hooked into an outreaching piece of ice, trying to awkwardly aim the shotgun straight up.
He's not very bright.
It's okay. It's gonna go
And-
great. It's amazing.
All right. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Okay. First one. Second one.
You got some arm reach, right?
Huh? What?
You got some arm reach, right?
Okay. Maybe this hits. We'll see.
A lot easier to catch Schmeat than Barry.
True.
With disadvantage, it ended up being. What would that be? 17 before he added any modifiers.
I don't know what your dex is.
That's plus 2. Dex.
Okay,
15,
then yeah, it should
so
hit.
19.
The first one does hit.
Oh yeah, I forgot 2 dex.
Isn't his a fire shotgun?
It is.
Both rolled 16s on both before modifier. So that would be
21, I believe, which would also hit. Yep. Alright, roll your fire damage. Is 2 fire shots lance into it. We'll say it does not immediately take double damage, but it does start to melt some of the icy armor around it. As we gouts of fire just out of this Mali 1 shotgun that whirs and launches energy blasts.
First one does 11 damage. Second shot. 8 damage.
8 damage. Alright. As its fur is singed and burning in some sections now. Anything else?
And that's all I can do.
Alright, alright. Actually, roll a d20 for the end of that to see how well that ice held up.
I got a 2.
So the ice did not hold up. As you fired your second shot and you went, huh, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty... And as you guys are sitting there going, as Barry, you crack out of the ice, you go, where's it at? Tanya points up, and Schmeat just goes, smashes down onto the ice right in front of you.
Worth it.
Thankfully, it's 15 feet, and fall damage does not kick in yet. Schmeat, you just land really rough and like, oh god. And
Okay,
puts
Schmeat?
himself back up.
Thumbs up.
Nessa, you're up. Schmeat just pancakes in front of you.
Is he okay?
Oh yeah, no, he's more than good. It was just more like the, oh god, I fell 15 feet, not actual damage.
He's just giving
Okay.
a thumbs up. Too winded.
Pulls himself to his feet.
I'm going to try to shoot the bully mog again.
He did climb 40 feet up, so you would have to go to the exit out the cave bit.
And
Can
a
go to
minus.
the corner, like the edge of the cave,
You,
and have like
get to
flash
just
cover.
you get to just to the edge of the cave and look up if you want to shoot him.
You only got 20 feet of movement now from the ice.
That's true. You move 30 feet back, so you would get to 10 feet from the cave edge.
Would I be able to see him?
No, not inside. Not inside.
Then there's nothing I can do.
All right.
I'll just move my 20 feet, I guess, and stay in cover.
Okay. Let's say, don't forget, you have all your other effects and powers, but
Tech can't do anything except for keep people warm.
Text has a ranged option.
But what's his ranged option?
His little lightning launcher. You just asked about that one.
It's not on his sheet.
Just checked earlier, and it was.
On the yellow sheet or on his actual sheet?
On Tex's sheet. The other one's for Rex.
I looked at Tex's sheet.
Was this meant
Should
to
be
be
under the
the-
attacks in the center.
Was this meant to be one of the level 7 side grades that we don't have yet?
All I
Yeah.
have is the discharge and the bite.
Yeah, discharge. It's a lightning launch. That's why it has a range next to it.
It doesn't have a range next to it.
Huh. Thought I wrote a range next to it.
No, it just says electric.
Has like a 60-120 range, I think. No, 60-180 range. So he could creep outside and make a shot if he wanted to.
What does he have? Half movement?
He has minus 10 feet. But he was already at the edge of the cave.
Oh.
Because he had to bite at the bullywug.
Is Barry still frozen?
He just shattered out.
Okay. Let's shock it, I guess. Because that's the only thing I can really do.
Alright, roll to hit. As Tex just outside a couple feet, looks up. I don't know how he shoots his electricity out, though. It's like a little lightning breath.
It's a 26.
That will definitely hit.
It's like a Pikachu.
Cheeks just glow.
Yeah.
And lightning shoots up out of it. But that definitely hit.
It's a 7.
As the electricity just ripples over it. You know, it's had a bit of a roar, like discomfort and everything. I believe that is Tanya's turn.
There's something I want to do so bad, but it would require this thing to fail a con save.
You can always try.
Also, is this thing directly above the bridge that is right up
It
there?
climbed up from the bridge, so it's like up and just a little bit out from it as the wall curves, but basically straight up.
Okay, so if it were to fall, where would it land? Come
On the bridge in front of you guys.
Okay. Okay, then I'm not going to try to make it fall, because that'll land on Shmeet. Go, girl.
It would currently land on Shmeet.
I was hoping it was off to the side some, so I could try to just make it fall however far down.
You can always try if you want to push Shmeet back some.
Hey, Shmeet, can I drag you back a little?
Okay.
Slide him on the ice a few feet back.
I'll let you consume some of your movement to scoot him back 5 feet, because I'm kind of curious where this is going.
Never mind, this only has 30 feet.
Never mind, okay.
Never mind, yep, it's... Damn thing has too much movement. Well, I got a thing with a 9. Well, I do have an intelligence save one.
Oh, that's mean.
So let's have this thing make an intelligence save as I'll poke my head around the corner and finger bullet at it.
What are you casting? What are you tossing out?
Mental shot, it's the equivalent Tasha's mind with. This one.
That's a 9.
That's a fail.
So, I'm going to have it use its form of something. It's going to burn some of the ice, some of its AC to resist.
Ah, yes. It's burning the ice to save its brain.
As it just, as the thing, the shock tries to affect it mentally, but it's already coated in cryo and all this freezing bits, and it just kind of, deadens it a bit more. But as it does this, as it focuses on trying to avoid the, worst of what's happening, you see as part of the ice around it that's protecting it starts to crack and fall off.
Stop for a moment of... What? But that... How does...
Bullywugs!
Guys, if you heard it brain, the ice cracks. Also, probably just shooting it. Just gonna take a few steps back.
As you step back and some of the ice just smashes on the floor in front of you.
Yeah. How's Nessa looking from the ice blast?
I don't know.
I think, well, actually everyone's shield should be up. Yeah, so everyone should be looking fine except Barry, who's over there, but I'll stay next to Shmeet. Nah, let's go next to Nessa for the save, if something happens.
Alright, back next to Nexa. Who just left?
What? Yeah,
Somebody just leave?
Actually, wait, can I stand in between them and get the effect of both of them, or is it too far?
She moved forward 20 feet, so yeah.
Yeah.
You can get everybody in the aura. That brings it to... Hold on a second, we have somebody leaving and coming back in. Max? You good?
No, my headphones aren't. I can't hear anything.
That's weird that they disconnected like that. I don't have a good answer. It's done that for me sometimes, and sometimes it's just iffy about working.
Oh fuck, I just had a realization.
What?
There's not a lot of saving throws that get forced from a lot of people here. So legendary action type things are going to void a lot of my stuff.
I don't know what you mean on that one entirely. It is the iceberg's turn.
The
Not
iceberg.
No, not the iceberg. Sorry, I have notes written for this thing, and I have it like a couple things crammed close together.
Titanic, watch out.
Here it's coming for round 2. At this rate, it's going to be called the iceberg because it just keeps getting crammed in with the other rating. I keep hearing doors. Do I keep hearing doors open and shut?
You do, because I thought I heard a kitten outside. He's crying.
Oh, you're being
Is it the
haunted by a
wind?
demon and it's attempting to lure you outside.
That's okay.
We hear you being murdered messily. We know what's going on.
Alright,
I think somebody found it.
might have.
It's not crying anymore.
Shmeet? Okay, well, moving on to this then, I guess. Shmeet, you watch Kinsir outside just enough as it finishes pooling and it rips a large icicle, like huge icicle chunk out, and it drops to the ground and it's going to spend one of its attacks to just, as it lands heavy on this ice bridge that you're on right around you, sitting cracks all around it. And it's going to reach back with this and just swing as hard as it can to try and bust this cave some to get inside. That's pretty good, as it just swings and its club shatters in the process, and a huge chunk of this wall just is ripped and shattered and shot everywhere. Unfortunately, because of the sword stopping its arms from moving very well, its multi-attack is currently disabled. And that is its action. Yeah, I think that's its whole turn this time. It had to climb back down safely. Bonus
It's not safe,
action.
though.
Crystal, go and speed bag this thing in the nuts.
Bonus action, it's going to pull a piece of one of the bigger icy chunks in, so it has ammunition for its next feature. Crystal, you're up.
She's back to 40 movement right now.
I was muted. Cool. It sounded like the thing
Yeah.
you said the thing jumped down, right?
Actually, yeah, no, it was to the end of your next turn. So yeah, her turn passed. You are back to full movement, Crystal, and it is back down on the ground in front of everybody.
Cool. Where exactly is it? How far is it? Can I just run up to it and punch it?
Easily.
That's what I'm going to do.
You'll be out onto the start of the bridge to go with it and punch it, though.
That's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. Yeah.
As you
Am I
sprint forward now that it's in range. You rolled what?
I was going to say, am I good to start punching?
Yes, absolutely.
Cool. I have a natural 20.
That will definitely hit.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Obviously, it's fire.
Yes.
16 for 19 fire damage there.
All right.
Before doubling.
Well, I was gonna say this time some more of the ice melts, and it's not doubled yet still.
Cool.
But 19 is still a lot.
Got a second punch for you.
All right.
That's a above 20 or a
That's definitely hit still.
25. Cool. I didn't hear what the AC was, if there was. That's another 10 fire. Nope, 13 fire.
Noted.
And flurry of blows, because I can do that.
But are you spending the key point for 2?
Wait, hold on. You punched twice.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
punched twice.
Oh yeah, you don't have multi-attack yet.
Yeah.
But you can punch as a extra, or as an action.
Yo.
No, we went over
Punch
that.
you
one.
punch
Sneak's
once.
been doing for forever.
Yeah,
Schmied
because
has
his
people.
punches are qualified by the rules as natural, simple weapons. That's what we're giving it to him for. He's not
Okay.
making unarmed strikes. He is actually making weapon attacks with his hands.
Just
They
as a
qualify what
drive-by,
they're-
I can't rationalize not letting the monk punch twice if they're offhand.
It's just part of the actual martial arts feature versus two-weapon fighting thing. It's one of the things that also lets him still do two-weapon fighting and stack his extra attacks or his flurry of blows in on an extra bit too.
Give me a
You
second.
can turn that into a flurry of blows to make your third strike though. Still, it'll just be your flurry of blows as 2 attacks as part of your bonus action.
Just put an
We went
axe in
over
your
that
offhand.
Yeah, let's say we went over this
Yeah.
once before, but it was like a couple of months ago, at least. Maybe like 3 or 4 even.
Where is everyone right now?
Schmeat's right next to you. Tanya's about 10 feet behind you. Barry's a little ways back into the cave, but he'll be forward soon, I get the feeling. Nessa's 20 feet back?
Yeah,
I
that
think
sounds right.
so.
Well, since I'm here anyway, I'm going to spend this key point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll to hit.
There's my 20. That's another natural 20.
Alright. Here's a fun little note. As you have been unleashing these barrages and the flame has been gouting out and screeching over, the first 2 may not have sunken in too deep because of the icy armor, but as of the end of that last hit, your icy armor has been dissolved. This one will do double from crit and double from fire.
Oh, I've been doing things wrong. I forgot to do that rule that you just gave me just a minute ago.
Alright, well, roll it twice real quick before you do this damage.
Yeah.
Fire thingy?
Yeah.
First one was a 2. Second one was a 4.
Alright, so plus 6 on that, and now roll this one.
The first
the attack was a crit. Does that make it +4? So
Yes,
2 4s for
8.
+8? Cool. And I roll this one. How'd I lose my D4 that quickly?
You just rolled it.
It's under your foot.
And that's a 3, 4, 6. 18 fire total?
And
No,
then doubled because
no,
of...
that's not right. I forgot the double thing. Let me do my math again. I'm sorry.
That's all good.
12, 24, plus modifier is 27.
Doubled to 52.
Double to 52 for being fire. Yeah.
As you gout through it and deal a very hefty chunk of burning damage into the front of it. As it lets out another bellow. Yeah, not yet. Alright, anything else with the rest of your turn?
Nope, that's it.
Alright, you have successfully very much got its attention as you just did so much damage to it. Barry, you're up, you're out of the ice, you're free, you're raging. Dylan?
Is it on the ground?
Yeah, it's currently on the bridge in front.
Run for it.
Alright, running for it. You can easily make it there in one turn. I will say, unless you do something to get to like maybe the other side of it, you'll start catching allies and explosions. Just as a fair warning.
Can I just go run up and give it a damn hug, Matt?
Do you want to
big old
climb up
bear.
it?
I have no fucking idea what the hell's going on. Fuck that. How about I try to chokehold the fucking thing with my maul and just try to choke it out? Why did that work? Never tried that before.
You are
I
free
guess.
to attempt.
Yeah, well, yeah, I doubt it did actually happen. I'm aware. So can I get to the other side of the bridge so I don't catch allies, or what?
I thought you'd try like an athletics check or something to get between its legs, maybe. Moving through enemy spaces is weird. Do you remember you'd have advantage because you're raging?
Good. Almost went very badly. Athletics, 25.
As you just power slide underneath of it, pop back up, you're on the other side of it, behind it. Since you and Crystal are now technically flanking, you have advantage.
I wanna attack it.
Swing away.
Come on, I have advantage on this, right?
Correct.
Good. No, that's not better. Okay, so I go with the first roll. Because
Yeah, advantages take the better of the two.
Yeah, I'm aware. I was just talking to myself.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. So. What? Can I say something? Hello?
I think you're good to keep going.
I said something, but it was something to do with the game. I
Okay.
said, oh.
Okay. Where the fuck was I? So I started, oh yeah, 24 to hit. Sorry, I got
24
distracted.
will definitely hit.
Okay, and then this is D8. Big math. What is that? Oh, 6. 19 for the first attack.
As you crater a huge strike down onto like probably one of its hind legs.
do I stumble it, I wonder, so I can get a nice visual attack?
Good concept. Might be in the slightly wrong game.
I don't know.
Alright, here.
Fine, right? What?
I think,
Was
Robert,
that?
you were trying to talk to us. You were a really far distance. But
Hello?
anyways, keep going.
I said,
Boys
sorry,
list?
it's not the Bloodborne pig he's fisting.
God, that's still gross.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. So there's still advantage on that, right?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, this is gonna be fun. Because you know the first roll is an 18, but the second one,
It's a critical. I've got the build up.
yeah.
I do understand that build up. It's a good one. Lock it up.
Okay, now. So, not the best rolls in existence, but still pretty good. 36. Three, 6. Do you hear me?
I hear you.
See if you're talking
Okay,
if I can
there's
hear
here.
you.
I was just doing math in my
If
head.
you can't
I wasn't
tell,
talking
I've
to
been
people.
my Discord's been fucking with me a bit, so
No, yeah, I can hear you. I was just
Yeah.
trying to do math in my head because you did number of damage.
36. Yeah. I've done more before, but it's still really good.
I know you did more before. I just was adding it all up. All right, you are going to reduce health on its current stage to 0, and as its last-ditch
What?
effort, it is just going to interrupt the turns as you have entered its current setup, and just raise its hand up and smash the bridge to fall downwards.
Can I roll athletics check to try and grab it as we fall down?
I was going to ask, you guys have an option. You can make a dex save to try to throw yourself back as it's going to smash down the bridge and start to plummet down.
I want to try and,
Or you guys, I guess, can try to ride down with it.
as we're going down, I want to go and try and grab it onto that sword. That's all nice and lodged into there. Plus,
Everybody's rolling a
athletic,
dex
right?
save. You can choose where you're going to.
Are we sure it's just dex and not athletics?
It's a dex save to avoid, the penalties of a bridge collapsing.
Okay, Matt. If Tanya's jumping to run after it and grab onto the sword as well,
Can we hold on to each other and give ourselves advantage? Because we're both helping each other?
Let him finish.
who gets the bonuses from Tanya?
The save, you guys getting to the place would take off. The save will take effect as everything's falling. So everybody
So everyone
in
but
range
Harry.
would be...
Everyone
Crystal-
but Harry.
Yeah, technically, because Barry went to the other side.
Because it is falling out of our range, will we get a attack of opportunity?
No, this is just plummeting. You guys are making a dex save. This is the break of combat as it's entered one of its effects.
Just flat out dex save? Okay.
This is just a dex
22.
save. You do have advantage because of your stuff.
Barbarian.
Try to beat a 19. Yeah, we're just not beat it.
It is in a really bad way.
How deep is the chasm underneath the bridge?
You guys look down? It's got a good ways down to go. Probably like 300 feet till it hits the bottom. It's going to plummet. If you are on its back, it'll probably protect you from most of the falling damage.
Yes.
I was wondering if I was wondering how far exactly it was and if we would hit by the end of this round.
Yes.
I don't know
Like
how
I said,
far we
if you
fall
guys choose
per
to
round.
jump on the back of the Bullymong, I'll give it to you now. You will avoid the falling damage.
25.
22. The fact that we're both aiming for the sword, does that mean that we can help each other? Like grab
No,
onto each other?
this is happening when you guys are still separate.
But yeah, but we're both aiming for the same spot though.
That just means we'll land next to each other.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Can we go in a...
When we
Dylan,
get there,
the save has already happened here when you're separate.
Fine,
It's a deck save.
how's everyone else?
That's what I was asking. Is anybody else writing the Bullywong down?
I will.
Yes.
I guess if everybody else is.
You should.
That's just like, wait for
Unless I
me.
have a sniper who can shoot things from a distance. You don't need to.
Don't worry about thinking like that. Also, dim light. No,
Dim light you can still see in.
down 300 feet.
Potentially.
16.
But everybody's making the save. 16?
Did you? Schmeat, did you add your +4 and your
It's a
advantage?
deck save?
Oh, 20.
You
Yes.
want to get that as well?
30,
An
20.
advantage?
No, Schmeat because barbarian.
Cool. Did I
we
get
get
Tanya's
plus-
+4?
Yes. To both.
$25.
$17.
Okay, what is Texas?
Oh yeah.
Don't forget your +4.
Three.
Jeez. Everybody rolled really well and
He's
managed
better
to just
than me.
pile on between it. It's like Barry jumps on its back and starts to climb up and like jumps out immediately as it goes to Tanya right after it. Schmeat jumps, latches onto some of the fur. Crystal's like, yeah, why not? And just takes a more graceful leap and catch. Tex clawing again. Nessa running out from the back like, wait for me, as she had the farthest to go and just into the open air to follow before landing heavy on it and managing to catch as everybody starts to plummet and go and then slip, and he tries to use bridges to slow and just on the ground. The impact shakes everybody and knocks them loose, mostly. I'll give Tanya and Barry strength saves to hold on. You're not taking any damage when you guys fall off for most of you. It's just as it tumbles you onto the ground. As you guys fall and land on this mishmash of ice and bones, and you can even see like equipment from things here, probably like from other people were roaming the lands.
17. This time you've got the +4, Barry.
What?
This time you've got the +4.
Wait, are you doing something, or is this...
He
It's
said
a strength
Barry.
save.
He said Barry.
okay. Oh, I also have 17, but yeah.
Okay, both of you got more than enough to hold on this time, as you're both kind of just holding on awkwardly to the one sword hilt and hanging from it, and initiative will continue at Schmeat's turn. Schmeat, you just got shaken off onto the ground as you're like wading through this slog of equipment. I will say, I should have said it earlier, but the buddy, your Bullywong buddy over here, is looking very rough. This was his last ditch effort to try and get out.
Man,
Most
going
things don't
nowhere.
jump after it.
Anybody still on, or are we all chicken off?
Everybody, Barry and Tanya are hanging onto the sword hilt up on its shoulder, but everybody else got shook off onto the ground.
This one's back. Good.
How far away am I?
Like right at its feet still. You can pop up easy and go for it.
How far up is its face?
It's pretty tall, but you could, if you want to climb up there, I'd let you. If you want to try that,
Yeah, I want to punch him in the face.
make an athletics check to climb him. Yeah, you're back at 40, so that'd be 20. That makes sense.
Not 20 for 26.
That is
Jesus
definitely
Christ.
gonna hit. As it looks around very confused that everybody's still here and standing.
Oh, no, that was to climb up to its face.
Yeah, no, it's still very confused as everybody's
Oh.
still here following it as it looks around like there's still people here.
Sorry, I got it.
Yeah, you're crawling up to hit it.
Don't punch it 3 times in the face.
E. Fourth time. With your bonus action, if you remember, I think, because monk.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
Don't you have a thing where you can do a reaction and we can all like attack at the same time again or something? Ugh.
As you like clamber up, like grabbing on bits of fur hanging out that are sopping wet right now due to the melting ice, and quickly like pull yourself up to the topmost with just your arm strength at this point, you get like a good grip up there. Just rear back that one hand for hammer in time.
Oh, yeah. I'm like right between his eyes and just punch him in the face. First one is going to be 21.
That'll hit.
Second one. 6, that is 19.
That'll hit.
Third one. That's a 5. That's not 11.
That
And
will
the bonus
unfortunately miss.
action. That's gonna be a different type of attack. That's unarmed strike.
It should be the same to hit, at least.
Yeah. Yeah. That is the. That answer misses. That's 9 plus 6. 15.
It cut out for me on that one. What'd you get?
That's a 14.
14 unfortunately does miss, but the first two do hit.
That image in chat is just
Wham!
everything.
Wham! That's kind of what Schmidt's doing, yeah. Unfortunately, the second two, it manages to like shake its head and throw it around as you try to, and it just keeps tossing you about. It's really hard to find its spot.
Oh, yeah. And that's gonna be 24 damage.
It is a hefty sum. As it, like, its auras are just spitting in socket. It's probably seeing stars right now. That's the whole round there, I believe. That brings it to Nessa.
Are we still on the bullywog's back?
No, when it landed, most of you shook off and rolled to the ground nearby.
Okay. Nessa's gonna shoot it. How far away am I?
I was giving everybody like 10 feet away.
Can I move an extra 15 feet away?
Yes, but remember, you will provoke an attack of opportunity.
It's gonna be ridiculous.
Your choice.
We got a healer.
You?
Can I have Tex attack first?
Yeah, Tex can rush forward and attack. You can use your bonus action to send him forward.
Because if he's within 5 feet of the bullywog, then the bullywog gets disadvantage on attack rolls.
I think that it's reaction, Tex's reaction, but he would have it back since the start of the turn. So yeah,
So I-
absolutely can do. You can send him forward to
That would
rush to
work.
attack. Yeah, he can rush to attack, and if it makes a swing at you, he can just use his reaction to give it a penalty.
Okay. He's going to give him a little cut. Claw.
How did Dungeons and Daddies put it? Love hugs.
Love hug. Love bite.
That was a really funny one.
Man. 22.
That will absolutely hit. And this thing's in bad condition.
That's a 5.
Gotcha.
And now Nessa's going to move.
All right,
A
like I
little
said,
bit
it is
away.
going to take its swing at you. But you can use text to use Tex's reaction to give it disadvantage.
I will do that.
All right, let's roll twice and see how it goes. Plus what is that? That is still an 18 to hit.
Yeah.
That does hit. All right.
Is it another strength
Take-
save?
Take 24 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are grappled as it picks you up. As part of the attack.
I'm in his hands.
You are now in his hands. As his arm
Okay.
lashes out as you start to leave, and it's like, no, no, no. I want to attack something. I want
How much
something.
was it?
24 points of bludgeoning damage. You still have your action.
I know. Hmm. What? Pistol wouldn't be disadvantage, would it?
It would be, since it's like the melee thing if it's holding you in reach. This is the melee penalty. This is just the melee for most fire weapons penalty at this point.
So the pistol would be disadvantage.
Yes.
I guess I'm going to hit it with my mallet.
As you, for the first time, I think, I don't know if you've used
My
your
little
mallet.
hammer.
As Nessa pulls out, like reaches down between like where the fingers are and pulls out this mallet as she shoulders the sniper on one arm.
I'm imagining a full Harley Quinn sized mallet.
No, I wish. It's not. It's a little hammer. It's a little bonk bonk.
She can get one if she wants.
I could. I haven't built one yet.
Bonkety bonkety.
Neither one of those hit.
What were they? Remember, its AC had gone down.
Oh. One of them was an 18,
That hits.
and the other one was a 16.
That also hits.
Never mind. I'm wrong.
So you guys have destroyed its extra armor with the fire.
Give it the bonk.
Jesus, that poor goblin.
My dice
Oh.
aren't liking the rolling part, but it's liking the damage part, because that is 22.
Between both of them?
Yes.
Alright, you just start wailing on its fingers like, let me go, let me go, let me go, let me go.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually decent sum too. I guess that brings it
And
to
it's
Tanya.
gonna scream.
Oh,
I'm not gonna scream at you guys because it'll hurt your ears, but she screams.
it roars back.
How rude.
Good for a
You
challenge.
probably get some spittle on your face. But Tanya, you're up.
Hmm.
Hey, Kong. Let the princess go. And she's gonna grab her old sword back if possible.
Okay.
Like, let the knife destruct.
Barry,
And
are you gonna let go so she can use the sword?
Barry. Can you talk?
hey,
You
Barry,
hearing me? Hello?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
both are kind of hanging off of
Okay.
the sword.
I'm
me a
gonna
hand with a
continue
saw.
holding. I'm gonna switch to holding onto the hair instead.
I'll let you do that since you made the save earlier. Yeah, just hold on to the fur as Tanya rips her sword out.
I was gonna say, could you give me a hand just like sawing back and forth?
Oh,
Sure, I can do that instead. And
if you want to saw back and forth for flavor, fucking go for it. Roll your attack.
Yeah, just it's back to being main hand. It's 2 attacks just sawing. Do I have advantage? Are we flanking? Is anything like that going on with Schmied in its face?
I'm gonna say that counts kind of as flanking. Close enough. It's hard to get more distracting than this tiny little angry thing repeatedly punching you between the eyes.
Yeah, sword's also in it already. Just saw.
Yeah, well, let's count it as flanking.
Alright, first one is a dirty 20.
Okay, that hits.
Second one is a crit. And offhand attack is 16.
All 3 hit.
I will drop smites as I go down the line. Tell me if it dies beforehand.
Alright. So I think the way it sounds like to me is you just start to move that one, and you plunge your second sword in, and you just start sawing down with both.
Yeah, pretty much just sawing down through the arm.
Ah, this is gonna be disgusting.
As it should be. Okay. Try to... Oh yeah, that's right, I got a +1. I didn't have the +1 for that sword. No, still hit. Need you. And 2 of you. And 1 of you. There we go. So the first one, that is all 6s. Okay, so 24 plus 5. Yeah, 5. So 29. On the first saw. Second saw is the critical. But what the fuck, dice?
I'm just
I rolled-
sitting here looking at the number that says 5 HP left. How would you like to do this?
It's just sawing the arm off. Just clean at the shoulder joint, just going with Barry's help there. We can just sit there and just saw down.
It's just... and eventually you guys just hear like a wet pop and slurp as the rest of the muscle fibers tear as this arm just rips off and hits all the junk.
it
Pretty
hits
much
him in
just
his junk. That's mean, Matt.
As you
Matt
just,
punch himself in his junk. That's just rude.
After it falls, just go to the spine, just go up to the back of the neck, the spinal column, and just stab in. It's not nice to steal.
you red it down and plunge it in. So yeah, that thing's dead.
Alright, so I didn't need to use all my smite points.
No,
I
you guys sit
didn't.
there, you just listed off all your stuff, and I'm just sitting here staring at it like it had like 5 HP.
Yeah, so that's all I was gonna say. Just tell me when to stop on the kill. So that's one point for it dying on the first hit there.
Initiative is over, everybody. That's how you can slowly like squirm your way out of the hand that's still death gripping you.
Separate my metal and
Just
plastic
sit
dice
here
back.
for a minute.
That's fair.
She's gonna let Tex pull her out.
He just helps and just like slowly pries the fingers away.
Everyone okay?
I'm fine. You fine?
I'm fine. I'm doing pretty good. I got my sword back. This is great. Yeah, we shot the bully long. We boys the bully on us. Nessa, you okay? Let's take a picture.
She says as some spittle drips off of her face.
That was the craziest thing that's ever happened to me.
But did you have fun?
No.
Just landed on this planet.
Well, maybe you look back at it as fun or interesting or something.
I
A once-in-a-lifetime experience.
hope so.
Tanya cutting fur off in the back as saying this, starting to butcher.
Is the guide that we're looking for anywhere nearby?
I was getting ready to actually say something. What is your passive again?
I think it's 20. Yep, 20.
You hear a very, very faint and very muffled voice, like, and a slight thumping. It seems to be somewhere within this pile of junk.
There he
Go
goes
see if we
looking
can
for.
go dig him out.
Make an investigation check. This isn't to say you're not gonna find him. I just want to see how hard this is for you guys to find him.
I am enlisting Nessa's help
This is
along the way.
taking a minute.
Text can
Can
help.
I help then? Can I help so he gets an advantage?
Texas, a tracker. He can do that, right?
You
Yeah,
have
he's so
advantage.
good at it.
So
In
can I
that case,
help and give advantage?
can you
or
have
something?
Tex lead the way?
What?
Barry could make his
Okay.
own roll since they don't want to help.
Tex can technically make it. I don't know what his intelligence score for investigation is.
I mean, his investigation's
Um,
probably higher than mine. That's why I don't want to make it. That's it.
Alright, I guess Barry will just go wander off and go and look through the gear.
Alright, you can
Jason.
make an investigation for the gear.
19.
Alright.
You don't want Text to roll the investigation.
So you're like, you're
Yeah,
old,
but he-
really.
Rex? Oh.
I have a
Rex can
17.
give you guidance.
17.
Can Rex give him guidance?
He already rolled, but it's okay. 17 is pretty good.
Just out of curiosity, what is Texas intelligence score or not intelligence?
Maybe a
investigation?
3.
Cool. I'm halfway there. Who's my?
It follows programming well, but that's because it's programming. So everybody starts digging in a little bit. Barry, you start going through and collecting some items. You don't find a bunch of usable ones. They seem to be busted, messed up, corroded, frozen, warped, all kinds of things. But you do find an interesting, like, how to put it? It's like an interesting little device that you could latch on. Mechanically, you have found the first class mod. You find a grenade
First?
mod, a new shield, some ammo for weapons. We'll get to that more specifics if we want to, and 6 grenades.
Hey. Fuck yes, grenades!
As you dig through all this. In the meantime, Crystal, you start just where do I even start? Pull this out of the way, pull this out of the way. You start digging down. You get down like 10 feet before you find him. Like, all right, well, it's I can't remember what voice I did for him. Shit.
Old man.
I'm trying to do old man. I don't know why. It's not clicking in my brain.
Hey, Matt,
Well, you have found me.
Old Man McGucket.
Crotchety
Good
old
to see
man.
everybody. Considering the circumstances.
Can I bring him a slab of bully monk fur that I've cut off to give him warmth?
It's still bloodied and everything, but yes.
The outside, the furry outside part.
As Crystal gives him he holds out a hand, and I think Crystal will probably grab and help him pull, and pull him out from underneath the junk. Oh, I appreciate this. Oh, I appreciate that too, and wraps the fur around himself like, it's a little chilly out here. Oh, rubs his arms. I gotta say, I wasn't expecting anybody to show up.
Well, you were already kind of going this way, and it took our stuff, and it took you.
Well, I appreciate it. Just rubbing himself. So, you guys got a ride.
If we can make it out of here, yes.
That's a plus. Okay, well, I can say I don't need much. I had most of what I needed on me. If you guys have a vehicle, mine, he looks down. Mine got smashed when it ran through town. But I can still give directions and lead the way to where we need to go.
Alright. Hey, Matt, could you send
Shuffles
that list
over.
through? Just
I will,
type that
second.
through and send it? Thank you.
Will do. Shuffles over, looks down at the billy bong, kicks it once.
Let's get some bullymong meat for later.
I mean, it's good eating. And you sit down and look at everybody. So, where are we at? I kinda did not keep track very well.
A bit.
There's this
Somewhere
big
in the
ice.
frozen wasteland.
There's this big
type
ice cone thing. We're down it.
Neither of those really narrowed it down very well. Ice in frozen wasteland is kind of everywhere, admittedly.
But like this big cone going down.
Describes a lot.
Things were kind of melty near it, more so than others. There's like water. Almost fell.
Yeah,
into that
there's
one.
water. There's something about ocean water, possibly beneath us. I think.
Well, that narrows it down. Decent stretch. Okay, kind of an idea. Maybe we'll figure out more as we go. On the way out, so I can point us in the semi-correct direction.
Of course, it lies on a taxi. Get out of here.
Also, are you okay? Hurt anywhere?
That's the same thing. Ness and him give the same reaction at the same time.
I'm not hurt bad, but I don't want to be grabbed by one of them things again.
Give 10 health to Nessa. Just touch her on the shoulder. Give her some life force.
Oh. That is very weird.
I've explained this before. You've seen me do this.
It doesn't make it not weird.
Also fair. Does old man hurt?
Old man looks a little roughed up.
I'll give him 5. And I don't know, it'll probably just comfort his joints or something anyways to have a bit of healing.
Helped. Yeah, I would say 5 for him is a decent chunk. Oh, thank you very much for that one.
Just don't tell anyone.
It just kind of like slouches a bit more into the fur lining, just like comfortable.
I'm gonna cut more of that off for us guys when cutting the meat. Who wants a bullymong coat later?
I'll take one. I want one, definitely.
Nessa, Crystal.
I'm currently pulling out some teeth.
You guys set about harvesting and collecting it as you wish.
Nessa
Oh,
said,
teeth.
that is a no.
Yeah.
That's why I said as you wish.
Crystal, you want a coat?
I'm good.
He just said that I asked for Crystal.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
May I borrow an axe?
Sure. Take 2.
Just
Take 3 if you want.
I'm now gonna open up his chest and take its heart. I'm gonna eat
Why you
heart.
wanted the axe?
Yes. I need to open chest.
Oh, this is gross. So, as everybody is kind of milling around and messing with it and stuff, something to note is the bullymong noises haven't fully settled. In fact, they might be getting very loud soon.
Might be time to go. Okay.
Let's bail.
I climb inside and make it into a mech suit.
As you
Can't speak
consider
to
a
that.
pool on tendons and bits, and you're trying to do whatever you can. Miraculously, you do make the
What's it?
but
What
that
do
is
you make it
all.
do?
You
make
break
it
the
move?
walls of all.
Monkey neck.
But I am gonna eat the heart.
Well, they've been busy with that. Can I have looked at the stuff I found?
Yes. Make a tech check.
Oh fuck. Okay, what does a basic 15 do for me?
Behold, a ranger class mod.
You do figure out what the shield does, I'd say.
Yeah.
It is a decent one. It's a spike shield. It has a protection of 30, and it gives 7 fire flat back. No, sorry, not 7. 8 fire backlash.
What the fuck does that mean?
Means when somebody with a spike shield, when somebody hits you with a melee attack, they take 8 fire damage.
Okay, so add that up to 30. Hey, Shmeet, you want a better shield?
Sure.
I passed him the 15. What the fuck is it? Where's the goddamn shield? It's at least 15.
Copy paste your old stuff to him.
That is exactly what I'm trying to do.
So I have enough for 3 coats essentially. That's what I'm.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll just let you get that. There's so much here, even if you mess up
Yeah.
a couple of them.
Yeah.
And this is kind of right up your alley of skills.
And then a lot of meat.
Oh, that's why I had so much.
As the gruesome
Yeah, makes
collection
sense.
continues, what's everybody doing as the bullymong noises proceed to get a bit louder?
Hmm.
Okay, Shmeet, you're gonna like this shield.
Where are we going?
Anywhere but here.
Someone pick away.
Can't we just go back to where we
Burn.
came?
You fell. Remember, you did fall through the bridges and down.
Oh, yeah.
Not unless we can fly.
Hmm.
Although you could probably get us jetpack.
No.
Can you make a jetpack?
No, not at the moment.
That'd be pretty awesome though if you could make a jetpack in the future.
I can try.
All
Right now, we need a little bit more of a more realistic way of getting out of here.
Matt, tell me a dice. Tell me a dice size to roll.
You know what? Roll a d20.
All right. Time to bring back an old trick. Toss knife on ground. Kick it. Let it spin. Going where it points. 15.
Okay. Are you guys gonna try to do this stealthily or just try to rush and beat everything that seems to be heading this way?
Stealth hasn't worked out so far. Why bother with it?
If they're running after us, we're pretty in the open.
Yeah, I don't think we're very good at the stealth thing.
Alright. So instead, I'd have everybody make an athletics or acrobatics check to try and race quickly amongst icy ground.
I'm glad no one is questioning or denying Tanya tossing a knife on the ground, kicking it, and seeing where it points and going, we go this way.
Yeah, no,
I
it
mean-
does.
Nobody has any better ideas.
Also, Smeet, your new shield.
Huh.
Okay. It's 15, but you also add 10 to your health.
Nice.
Which can be effectively doubled for Barbar.
Give me double.
You said athletics, right, Matt? Because rage.
Athletics or acrobatics.
15.
This is a 6 for a fire spike.
8.
Nessa got a 21, and Tex got a dirty 20.
I have a 19. Who got the 18?
I think overall it's pretty good. As you guys start to run out of the quarter, whoever's last in place will start to see a couple of bullymongs land hard on the corpse of the big guy and start tearing into it before you guys blink out of sight and keep running. A 15 is pretty good. As you start to run along, you guys will race. You're just sprinting along these tunnels, doing your best to avoid anything, or in the few cases that you do see something, you just bullets past and hope they don't see you. And it seems most things are distracted as the food chain has changed here suddenly and everything wants a piece of it. You guys keep sprinting and running past, and eventually you guys pop out, not perfectly on the ground level, but maybe 40, 45 feet away from the ground. And you're back out into the opening of the outside of this hive in that large, circular, shifting ice mass area.
Huh. Well, that worked out. Imagine if we just found this spot first and just walked straight on in.
It would
It wouldn't have
because he
helped.
was still way up there.
Yeah.
I would have been too lucky.
Could have found the guide and just left, though, if that was the case.
That's very true.
You kind of
Or
just
went up
were
there.
running up and down in a bit of mixes of the tunnels, so it's really hard to say which one was the right one anyways.
Let's go back to the truck.
Agreed.
Alright. As you guys run across this icy field, kind of like before, make an acrobatics or an athletics to not fall through.
We're making another roll.
Yes, this is to get across to the ever-shifting ice mass that just keeps pieces slide under, other water's exposed here, they churn over as they collide.
16.
19.
21.
Nessa got 16. Tex got 13.
Alright. 13 was the DC.
You say after acrobatics?
Yes.
Ooh.
I always miscount the saves.
19.
19, yeah. Everybody got high enough? Again, you guys shuffle across everything and slowly but steadily make your way across. It's a good note. You remember those bowling bongs as you start to get to the edge that were hovering around it, kind of like purposely avoiding getting too close to it? A lot of them are gone and not there anymore. They seem to have rushed in as the death throes of the large titanic beast that seems to have ruled this region has pulled everything in towards it.
Yay. Alright. We're back at the
A
car
few
then?
minutes into it, you'll hear a call from Clay going, "Hey, just trying to check in here. I got the truck up and running. Where is everybody at, and where do you want me to meet you?"
We might be coming towards you. We need to meet up though.
Do we have coordinates?
You have the coordinates where he was.
Do we have ours?
Yeah, you can send him yours.
I'll send them our coordinates.
Alright, I can start that way.
Let us know if the ice is too unstable and we gotta go to you.
I'll get as close as I can without risking it too much. Don't want to, spend another night fixing a coupling.
Yeah.
So, how's everybody on ammo?
I got 3 rounds.
I give Mead all the ammo I just found, apparently. Unless there's launcher ammo. Was there launcher ammo in there?
1 for launcher.
That's mine.
I'd say there's a smattering of other things like 10 shotgun, 10 sniper, 20 of most of the others that you could have grabbed. Like I said, it was a big pile of goods and bits.
I can reload my pistol ammo if you please.
Okay, there you go. Just throwing it out to the group. They can all gunfight over it as they please. But Smeet does get majority because,
It's just shotgun ammo. That's all I got.
Matt, you did
Yeah.
you did say I just started with half ammo like everyone else did at the start, right? Half on everything? Yeah. So yeah, this will just top up my pistol essentially.
As you guys start to make your way back, I'd say you probably walk for about an hour before you get to a point where you see Clay, and he's parked up on a higher bit of icy outcropping. Doesn't seem to have been able to find a good way to get closer. You just see him parked up there and sitting on the hood currently. Wrapped up in a huge, thick, warm jacket because fuck, it is cold.
I should have called him and asked if he wanted a coat or blanket.
It's okay, he probably has one. I'm gonna say he has a fur-lined jacket that he did not have prior to you guys getting there. Getting to the town, probably. He just gives like a half wave, and then puts the fingers back under armpits and clamps down on everything. And as you guys get a bit closer, see y'all got our friend back. Does that mean we are good to scoot over towards that room?
apparently.
So,
As long as
Alright,
you're willing to take us.
well, y'all paid me, so. And gave me so. Double good. Where am I sitting so I can help direct stuff? My car got smashed.
Hmm.
And I think effectively Clay will point at the shotgun unless anybody has objections.
mm-mm.
Okay.
What's just
You guys
happening?
pile on in and start off for the day. I will wonder, does somebody want to roll the survival check?
Are we just rolling and using his modifier?
Yeah, I was just seeing if somebody else wanted to roll the check since they're following the guide. They have the guide, it's at advantage.
A bit.
Whoa, that's some good thunder.
Yeah, I saw it was supposed to rain soon.
I say, well, hopefully we don't have a worsen connection for this little bit.
As another, was it the fourth one tonight? Fucking nat 20.
It's more than 4.
I'm saying just for me. I think I'm wrong. And they haven't been on any
right.
attacks. They've all been on like either saves.
Ability checks.
Yeah.
So, the guide does his job and guides well as you guys start to navigate these ever-shifting landscape. Taking your time driving, you continue a good ways off, and you actually eventually, start to see like rocky outcroppings, solid ground again. You guys continue driving for a few hours while you guys are driving in the back, honestly, for the most part, huddled up around Tex and the other heater. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I have no idea
Texas
what you said.
cozy.
Texas warm.
I picture you guys have just draped like dozens of like a ton of blankets over Tex to lean on and lay on.
Hey,
Turn them into heated
sounds
blankets.
like a good idea.
Alright, as these Arctic temperatures are fought off through a combination of these, we're going to churn over to Bertram for a few minutes, I think.
We're just gonna come in and fuck our days up. Okay.
Chapter
Bertram,
As long as I get my 5.
as long as you get your 5. I'm curious, what's Bertram's current... How's Bertram doing right now?
Define doing.
How long has he been listening to the Borderlands album? Or audio?
Hours at this point, so many hours. You have now heard things that no bullybong or person should ever do. You're not certain 2 people should do, but a bullymong and a man has apparently done it.
Gross, but that would have been drowned out as soon as possible by anything else I could listen to on my phone equivalency. Yeah.
You pull up anything on the Echo to drown it out. You do a really good job, but there's ever, like, sometimes you'll just catch yourself relaxing and there's the ever so faint random insertion from the book
But
into what's happened.
The amount of time spent, is it setting off any warning, like, flags internally? We're like, this is a fucking long time traveling.
You guys have been traveling from there to here for a good chunk of the day, probably.
Or to say it in a different way, is this more distance than it required to get us from wherever it was we departed from the ice sheet in the other direction back to where we currently are? I'm assuming yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, actually, this is where we're gonna say skipping to several hours later because of all the travel and everything. You're currently pulling up and you follow the trail along to this rough spot. And you don't know it, but you can see what it is, but you can see like the tall cylindrical, not tall, like tall conish shape of ice in the distance, but not quite getting to it before it verges off to the side and starts to head like more east, I believe.
Okay.
He can watch Bullymong Brawl 2023.
Off the top sheet, down with the elbow.
We're currently following this running thing, so I mean...
I want you to make a perception check.
Perception check. 22.
22 is very good. So for most of the day, it's been kind of monotonous and boring. Because you're just sitting in a truck following a blip, 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 blip. And Brewer's pretty good at what he does. I rolled a couple checks to see how he's handling the day. You're just kind of steadily going along, Crunchy Guy's following along. I think Lodi's been drifting in and out of sleep next to you. And Franz has been trying to keep, like, somehow.
Keep what?
Franz has been trying to keep himself busy or do, like, something, like, to distract them, it seems like. And they keep, like, fiddling with their echo, they keep, like, getting back on it, doing stuff, getting back on, clicking some more stuff. And it just, you know, seems like somebody's, like, playing games or reading something or checking on something. And you catch on one of the times where, like, when Brewer hits a rough bump, and it, like, you know, sometimes you hit one and it just forces everybody to shuffle, throws it in. We've all been in car rides when somebody makes a hard turn and everybody's uncomfortably close for a few seconds. When it does, he fumbles and drops his device and quickly picks it back up. But just before he picks it back up, you don't get a bunch of a scan, but you get a brief glimpse of a few, like, keywords of, like, how the creature seems, like, how something seems to be doing. Seems to be, like, a couple vague words that give you the idea of, like, a report on the creature's activities, but you do see a mentioning of, like, the squad and your name come up, part of the, like, report is what seems to be coming together in your head. It's hard to say entirely what is all there, like, you only get a few glimpses of it. But whatever they're sending in isn't just reporting on biological creatures. The biological creature you guys are using to track everybody.
Did it
Does
look
he
like
also receive like a sideways headbutt from Lonnie?
Oh, from load? Oh, no, I don't know. I guess in the back. Who's sitting in the middle in the back?
I feel like I'm on the back left.
All right, then he might have gotten headbutt by Lodi as they just flopped, and she's just like, "Fuck, why?"
But
He's like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry."
before I lose my train of thought, the thing that you were talking about, does it look like written reports or like some sort of like a mechanical feedback thing whenever it comes to other people's names? Like, is it like,
could you
here's a
clarify what
monitor
you're asking?
for, or did it look like they're writing a report that has a name?
Hyped out stuff.
So it's not like
it's not like
X is
it's
heart
not
rate,
like a
blah, blah.
monitor
Yeah.
this person X. It's like it's just like, yeah, it's like a typed out report of something. It seems like.
that's what I was making sure.
Yeah,
of.
there's data attached to it, but that seems, I'll guess, 22 is really high. The data attached to it for recording like lithograph stuff seems more in like the creature section than your section.
That's fine. I was just making sure that it wasn't like heart rate for X
have your
equal.
vitals.
You know? Yeah.
Brewer's, you know, it's a little worrisome. His heart rate's 110 for right now for some reason.
He's having a fun time driving.
But then pulls it back and continues on. And I guess there might be some kind of the question of what's going on. Is like, this creature in front of you has been running for this whole time at maybe not max vehicle speed. You get the feeling if the vehicle could full on go out, it would outstrip it in speed for sure, but it's been running at a very, very hefty pace where the vehicle's been able to quite comfortably coast at a decent speed the whole time and still doesn't seem to show signs of stopping.
Okay.
But as this is going, I guess that is my wonder. As you drown, even if you drown out the brewer's stuff with the echo device, how is Bertram doing for the day? Like right now, like how does he think things are going? How's it looking in Bertram's mind right now?
With the whatever last time of Coat doesn't appear to be Schmeats, even though it's supposed to be tracking Schmeats. It's more of a curiosity at the moment. There's really not much else that can be done in this particular scenario. I have to see where we end up going first to make additional evaluations.
Fair enough. I think in the quiet at some point, Fran's gonna speak up and go, "Hey, Bertram, right?
Yeah, what?
I was just really curious. Why did you join the Lance?
The potential to have things better off than they were before. Why?
Like with you in general, or like life for everybody else in general? Just seeing.
Well, when you join something that's supposed to be the good guys, the kind of everybody else in general kind of falls into place.
I mean, I guess it could, yeah.
Why, do you want to talk about why you ended up joining Anshin?
Oh, I got pulled in from a bunch of just. I was recruited from one of the colleges I went to. I was had good promises in the biological field. Honestly, most of this was to fill space, so I didn't have to listen to the abomination in the background.
In the back of my mind, I just kind of think, yep, he just wanted to talk about it. And then there's just kind of like a low buzz.
Eye twitching.
Yeah, there's no eye twitch, it's just, yep, got it.
No, I mean his eyes twitching from the background of what's happening right now. He's just like, so. Looks up to the front, everybody's kind of distant. I just have to ask, would you ever work with Anshin again?
I prefer not to, but I think I currently
That's
am,
fair.
So what's it really matter?
I mean, kind of. Are you, though? Like, you're working at the Lance, and yeah, the Lance is working with Anshin, but...
It seems more like Anshin sold me to the Lance, if you want to be technical about it.
I mean, kinda, I guess. They are, but the barter is your services for your freedom. Kinda nervous about it. I've never dealt with a siren.
Define dealt with, or define dealing with.
I've never
going forward.
interacted with a siren, even.
Well,
Let
they're-
alone got on a manhunt.
Well, they're
With a
traditionally
weird
seen-
pseudo-siren thing?
Can't talk about magic, it's weird.
What's it like to use it?
It's drawing on something else. I don't really know how else to describe it.
I wonder, does it affect you? Like, do you age differently? Does your body grow differently? Is it a contamination of cells? Like, how did you do this suddenly when one person else is supposed to be gifted with it?
I'm assuming it was something to do with being there at activation point.
Something like a overflow as the changing of hands.
That's my guess.
Huh. Interesting. That would be I mean, I guess it could make sense before it's fully in a new thing. It just like radiates power everywhere. It makes as much sense as any of the other magical hoo-ha stuff, I guess.
Just for the record, though, sounds real difficult to try to replicate because determining exactly who that's supposed to go to next is, according to my space Google searches, very difficult to determine.
It's supposed to be random. Oh shit, that was a bright lightning in the corner of my eye. Oh god, that scared the shit out of me.
Oh, Papa cometh.
Oh, is it storming wherever you're at?
Yeah, there's one rolling in, I think.
Talking about mutations, though, I'd have a look at your boss.
I'm
Can't.
sorry, I missed that bit.
Talking about mutations, though, I'd have a look at your boss. Not that you really can.
Oh, there's always mutations happening. happening. You gotta, you gotta try things to make progress.
Yeah, but how many of those things end up with weird glowy purple-eyed things?
34 that I know of.
Are any of them good?
Some were, maybe.
Or do they stop
Yeah.
being good?
In a manner of speaking.
Right.
Well, this kind of got a little more iffy.
I'm still partially distracted by whatever the hell I can kind of sort of hear coming from the front, but I don't want
I
to
know,
talk
it's-
about that right now.
it's horrible. I was surprised that you rejoined, though, apparently. I thought you were friends with those people.
I was/am.
Well, that sounds like it makes it complicated. Well, I suppose I shouldn't push too hard. We gotta respect a little bit of privacy, you know. Well, hopefully it gets us there. It's supposed to be following that individual, like, what's that little guy's name? What the little? What is it?
Do you have like a report from whenever they assigned you to this? I imagine they gave it a name.
That's what I was gonna say. He's like fumbling with his Echo net to like flip through. I think they called him Schmeat. Is what he goes by now. That's not what I have here. It is his original, but that's what he goes by, I guess.
What do you have there?
He used to be someone named Rowan. It looks like.
I think it was. Are you sure it's that one, Matt?
Mother.
I think that was James's.
Down the road.
That was James's, yeah.
I thought that's what he said for his too.
I'm pretty
Hold
sure
on,
it's
I can
Alistair.
check.
And then James was Rowan and Quinn.
Is it?
Doctor
That's
Strange.
right. I wrote down the wrong one, didn't I?
Yeah, Doctor Strange's what I have
You
written
can
down.
solve this for us.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, that's the guy he's hunting. His name only came up during
Alistair.
the session
Alistair
zero.
was yours. That's right. I wrote down the wrong name in the middle of that. That is fully on me.
It's okay. I got you.
Alistair seems to be the name he was going by.
Well, did it have any additional info on him? So I've only ever known him as Schmeat, but if you have an actual name, it might have been from before he was in facility.
Wait, what am I doing now?
Nothing.
It started.
It started? What started?
The connection problems with the lightning.
Ah,
The Storm of His Effect started it all. You said, as far as I know, I've only ever known him as, and it cut me off.
I've only ever known him as Schmeat. If you have any additional information, it might be from before he got put in facility.
Not much, just really the name on record.
Ah,
I suppose I could try to check for you. I just didn't have much with me.
I guess we could Google his name if nothing else.
Wait, what?
That's a lot of names to go through.
There might
What's
be
the
a
matter?
last name on there.
Wait, what?
Doesn't have
Hush
one.
you. Really? That's weird.
What are
He's
you
not on
looking
mine.
up?
Schmeat stuff.
Yeah, but what about
Oh,
me?
well.
Nothing.
Backstory.
No.
Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
it's just talking
We're not
about it for them. Huh.
Does it end when I wasn't looking and you're just in the after session of it?
No,
No. This
they're
is
in character.
Bertram having one of his bits.
Oh. Okay, I'm gonna go back to mute myself.
Huh. This is interesting normally. Well, I think I'm going to try and fashion some earplugs.
I mean, it's either that or intimately learn the mating call of the Bullymong by this National Geographic documentary gone wrong. Maybe Discovery Channel. Whichever one it was, depending on the budget.
Dry heaves. And I think they'll let you settle back into that. Group. You guys are heading on steadily, heading to the...
Taking the camera away from me again. Goodbye.
I am.
Back to being lack
You're
to...
banished back to the void.
Ah!
As we head back to the other group, you guys are heading along pretty steadily, making track. You guys drive for a little distance now. You guys got out of the fields, like I said, getting back into the more open, snowy fields, a bit more rolling hills. And I don't know if anybody picks it up. I think everybody's in the back. I think at this point, just as a thing, everybody can take a short rest if they wish to.
Mm-hmm.
That's like spending hit die and all that if you guys like to. Real quick. But while you're all doing that, we can do that after session if we want. While you guys are all doing that, you're driving along before... It takes a minute to pick up since you're in the back of a... Well, you're in a full, like, enclosed per bit instead of being able to, like, be more exposed to everything. Where you guys start to hear a bunch of engines revving. And you hear over the net, the echo devices, Clayton's voice sparkle out going, hey, we might have a bit of a problem starting soon. And as he sparks out and says this, you guys can like look out the window real quick if you want to, and you see like rushing out from the sides are like a number of vehicles. There's probably like 6 or 7 vehicles rushing out, and they start to like speed up along next to you guys. One of them is going to eventually like, run up and start to like cut them off as they all start. You see a number of like fur-wrapped, like roughly or some smashing like on like the roll cage of a technical, or one of them is like jumping up and down with like the turret on an outrider. Or they start circling and eventually like cut Clayton off, forcing him into a stop. And you guys are stuck in a circle of vehicles just spinning around, like hooting, hollering. And eventually one of them comes to a stop in front of you and goes, "You've entered the territory of the Frost Runners. And you owe us a toll, I think."
These the people we got the statues
And we'll end the session with that.
We get to give them statues.
for? Could I have I have a question. I didn't want to go and bother with this while they were easy, but could I have used that break to have looked at the grenade and class mod thing?
Yeah, we can talk about that after our session.
Yeah, that's just wanted to wait for. Didn't want to interrupt.
But I think that's what we'll call it for the night. It's getting late. I don't want to get too caught up in something and be stuck in the middle.
Yep.
Sorry, Arik, yours didn't have as much. We just had boss fight time. That happened.
I am covered in Bullymong blood still.
You are, absolutely.
No. You're covered in frozen Bullymong blood, probably.
No, you guys are back inside the cabin. It's heated up.
It'll be frozen again in that.
It's okay. I just kinda hoped against hope that whenever you cut the camera to me, it meant that I was going to be encountering something. Probably things that like the outside of the big cavey thing that they were in. And then I wouldn't have to
Thought
sit
about it.
there for boss fight. But that's not
Eric,
what
no.
happened.
No, you encountered an audiobook.
Evidently.
That is your boss fight.
Oh, I thought about it. It was just timing of the night.
That is your boss
It
fight.
absolutely dealt some psychic damage. Obligatory question. Everyone's still the same level. Guess they just had a big old fight.
They did.
Yeah, that's not. That sounds like a good
Yes,
reason to go to
had
level
this,
7.
like one big old fight. Not just yet. Thinking about where everything is.
Also, I have a question. Do we give away those statues to those guys? Those are the guys we need to give statues to?
Probably.
Do we still have the statues?
Yes.
Okay.
Just been dragging him along, staring at you while
Yeah.
you sleep.
They're
Like a
gargoyles.
Medusa guard.
I've been watching you.
Okay. Anything
We actually
before
do
I
have a trophy.
cut this thing off? We're good
They
for
can,
now,
take,
for this week. For whenever it is we stop
Nothing.
and start again.
they can take the statues, or
play.
they can convert the statues to blood.
Hope pattern continues.
We'll see.
And we get one every 2 weeks.
I don't know my 2 weeks out yet, but next week I'm working.
Well, summer's coming up, which is important for Dylan at least. But okay.
No,
Goodbye.
Every day. I'll be open every day after that. Once summer hits. We have like 16 days left, and then I'm free every single day of the week. Every night of the week.
Goodbye.
Why?
Bye. The end of that. Bye.
He's a whale.